Nick, you ready for me to do the intro? What's
Yeah,
going
and I
on,
never
everybody? Welcome
laugh
to the
at it,
Fresh
and you always
Podcast, where we do
stop
everything
thinking I'm
fresh and
gonna laugh at
entertainment.
it.
I am Drew Brumfield. I am here joined with last year's winner, Mr. Nick Brake. Nick, how are you doing?
Dude, during the intro, I think I'm talking over you,
I
but
don't care.
you'll
My,
find that
my
out in the
volume's
end.
louder than everyone else's, so they can't hear it. I'm also joined by Mr. Caden
Okay,
Gaylord Day. Caden, how you doing?
I, there it is. There it is. I'm doing all right, sir.
All
It's
right.
a Wednesday night. I just made a bet. It's going to hit.
All
So
right,
we
let's
good.
see. Let's see if he's a winner. I am also joined by the man who lost by a singular point last year, Jamar. Jamar, how are we doing this time?
Better. I'm a changed man. I understand it now.
He understands it
Understand.
now, hopefully.
Understand it now.
We are also joined by the expertise in foreign films, Mr. Mike. Mike, how you doing?
Doing good.
Nice. And we are joined by our two newcomers this time. We are joined by the main man, Zeke. Zeke, how are you doing today? I didn't respond. All right, cool. We'll figure out Zeke later. All right, sure, whatever. And we are also joined by the man with 17 last names, Mr. Ian Burkhead Cunningham Kleinercroft Brake, and something else. How you doing, Ian?
I think you forgot Brumfield in there.
I did forget
I'm
Brumfield.
doing good.
And Monday Schnepp.
Yeah, and Monday
And
Snap,
Monday
yes.
Snap. Just married to everybody.
All right. Well, I already explained the rules to you guys. I'm not going to go over it again. You get 5 choices. Don't pick someone else's pick. And I think that's it. All right. And without further adu, Mr. Nick Brake, as winner of last year, you get the first pick of the 2024 movie draft. So, drum roll, please. What is your very first pick?
Well, I'd like to use my platform to say that Drew has known Mike for 4 years, and I don't think he knows his last name.
I was about to say
We've done this
Stanford.
intro like
I was about to say Stanford, but I'm like, this intro's too long.
This dumb.
this seems wrong.
Yeah. I didn't know if I should
Okay,
say
yeah, so
Stanford
my-
or System or so many things. So many things ran through my head, so I was like, I'll just go with Big Mike.
Okay, well, you do know it, so I'm wrong. But
Yeah.
yeah. My number one is going to be Sing Sing.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
Oops.
Kidding me.
I think that no one has seen this, and Jamar's thinking acting like I stole this from him when he didn't even
It's
know
me and you.
existed
We're the
by
only
the
two
time I
people-
watched it.
That is cap. But keep going.
So I always talk about the director. I actually have never seen another movie by this director. He's made one other film. Mike, I don't even think Mike has seen this movie. Transpecos.
Oh,
Have
what?
you seen that? I don't even know what that
You're
is.
just
His name
making
is
these
Craig.
up at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I've
said
never
that
seen
my
that.
TV started levitating.
Yeah, I don't know. You guys haven't seen this. It's a good movie. It's had a horrible distribution. I watched this movie in a screening room with like a movie screen that was probably only like 115 inches with like 10 people in the sweatiest, hottest room ever in the middle of August. But I was having a good time. I cried quite a bit, which was embarrassing for me because, like I said, there were only 10 other people and they could totally see that I was crying.
I was about to say, at least there was only 10 people that saw you cry. Like, no one else saw this movie.
Yes, very true. Yeah, but that's all I'm gonna say
Okay.
because I don't want to say too much more. But yeah, it's great. It's great.
Yeah, definitely one of the ones that, like, none of
Nick,
us saw.
Nick talked about it and didn't describe it.
Not at all. I didn't at all. If you guys want to see what I thought, you can read my letterbox review. But
It's pretty good. I tried not to go too in depth in my review of it.
Okay. Oh, so it's one of those, like, it's
Quick,
best to
whenever-
go in completely blind. Like, know nothing about it.
no, not
I mean, you
really.
can know
I mean,
if you know the story. If you know the story of it, it's kind of. I mean, it
I don't know
really
anything
shows
about
it.
the movie.
It shows the
Okay,
story
Drew,
of the movie
well,
right when it starts.
I'll look at
Pardon
your.
Zochi's barking.
I'll look
Pardon
at your-
Zochi's barking.
Yeah, I'll look at
It's
your
about a
letterboxd.
theater group at a prison. That's all you need to know.
Okay.
And there's like no spoilers. It's not like Parasite or anything. But yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's great.
Okay, cool.
Well, there is something also pretty cool why the distribution's so bad because it shows in prisons around the country. So pretty cool.
Interesting. All right. Oh, Mr. Caden, it's your pick now.
Finally, we
I-
got moved past that weak explanation.
I-
All right, so
Yeah, big
A lot of
steal from
people-
Caden there. Definitely, Caden was definitely about to take Sing Sing as his first pick.
yeah, totally. Well, a lot of people are assuming what my first pick is going to be, but I'm changing up my strategy this year. So, with the real first pick, the 2025 movie draft, the greatest person ever, Kaden Gaylor is selecting Inside Out 2.
What the what?
Oh my god.
Me and Nick
They didn't even get hockey right in the movie.
Nick, we literally wrote that down.
They didn't even get hockey right in the movie.
What did they mess up?
yeah,
at?
Ian hates it.
Unironically, I don't remember.
It
the
is
hockey
one of-
show.
It is one of the 2 movies to earn $1 billion this year, but that doesn't matter. I enjoyed it thoroughly more than I enjoyed the first one. Thought it was great. Kids love it, parents love it, adults love it. So it's a great movie, and I'd watch it again. So that is my first pick.
No, unironically, I
That
actually
mov-
do really like the movie. I didn't even realize what hockey mess up they did. But
What's the main character's name? I can't remember.
Riley.
Riley?
All right. Spoiler alert, at the end, the foul's not on her. That's not on her. She shouldn't be put in the box. It's not on her. She's making a good hockey play.
Ian.
I think they
did-
should have just let him fight.
That's
Just let him
something
fight.
only Ian would know.
Yeah,
Yeah, why not
that's
just let him fight?
such not. It's such a
Good
not
play,
part of the
man.
movie. It's
I think if Inside Out 2 came out when we were in high school or even in college, I think we would have ate that shit up. But
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, 100%.
I think I wrote my review. I think it was too much time in between the first and the second. For the group that watched the first one and grew up with the first one, you're not that age around where the second one is. So it just didn't hit as hard for me. I know why it would hit.
It's like
for some
10
people.
years.
Yeah,
Wait, what's
10 years, and the girl's 13.
Yeah.
Is it really that long since the first one?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yes.
Old. Oh shit.
That's not uncommon for Pixar.
Yeah, I know, because then it's like a different group likes the movie, which is fine,
Yeah.
But I feel like I would have ate that shit up if it came
Oh,
out.
yeah, probably.
Came out when we were in high school, though.
All right, Big Mike himself. It's your turn.
All right, with my first pick, this might be a steal from Jamar, so I'm sorry. I'm going to take A Real Pain.
I don't even think I have that one.
Anger.
Grr.
Who all watched that movie?
This is one that I also missed,
I-
unfortunately.
I have not watched that one.
Today it's just 3 of us.
It's just you guys, I guess. Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. Why a
Um,
real pain? What's about that movie?
Well, I first saw the trailer and I went and saw my actual lowest ranked movie of the year, which was Between
Madam.
the Temples.
Madam Web.
And I thought this
Best
didn't really
movie?
look
What are you
that
talking
good. I'm not a big Jesse Eisenberg fan, so I really wasn't that intrigued. Then I saw another trailer when I went and saw Dee Dee, and I was like, well, this might actually be pretty good. And so went and saw it and checked it out with Jessica, my girlfriend, and she actually pretty connected with it pretty well. I mean, she's been to a lot of the places they went to in the movie in Poland. Pretty good story and pretty enjoyable. I mean, I don't want to spoil anything, but Kieran Culkin is in it with Jesse Eisenberg and gives by far his best performance I think he's ever given in anything. And
Yeah.
like I said, I don't really like Jesse Eisenberg very much, but I think he was really, I mean, he directed this and he was really, really good.
Yeah, honestly, I kind of forgot about, I saw trailers for it, but I kind of forgot about this movie for a while, and then
I know it went under the radar.
yeah, it did. I just remember trailers came out for it, and then just
I don't even
Yeah,
think I saw a
existed.
trailer for it. I think I just saw it pop up in the theater when it was on my
Yeah.
list, and I was like, "Oh, it's finally back!" I went and saw it.
Hmm.
Awesome, though.
all right, but a good,
Fuck, Mike.
solid pick all around. And now it is Zeke's turn.
Oh boy. All right. It's a toss up between 2 movies here.
Okay.
Yeah. I think to start off, we'll take Civil War.
Okay.
My inside sources
Done.
knew this pick was coming.
I love that
told you-
movie.
I
I think this
told
movie's
you more
great.
like 15 minutes ago when I was taking it one.
I texted
I
Nick. I
love that
knew it was
movie.
gonna happen.
This movie is so good. I honestly kind of also wanted to pick it, but I feel like I wasn't gonna take it because I
I'm
It-
low-key a hater. I'm low-key a hater on this movie.
really.
Not a hater as in listen,
was-
not as a hater as I think it's bad. So I think it's
No, definitely. Like it was misleading
Yeah.
with like the trailer and stuff, but like
Yeah.
once you actually watch it for like what the movie is and like what it's I love it. Especially as like and
It's phenomenal.
yeah, especially as like and half the people in this chat can tell you like especially working
Yeah.
in news it like connected to a lot of
Yes.
us.
It was so real. It was very
The
real. I
movie-
remember walking out shaking.
All of
I,
its criticism is so stupid. Zeke, you go on. You say what
Yeah.
you think.
Was locked in for the entire movie.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, whole time, edge of my seat, drawn in. Phenomenal movie. All right. Kind of disrespected that it didn't go in the first 3 picks.
I see the demographic of who the first 3 picks is. Think Caden saw that movie.
Banger of a movie. 10 out of
Hey.
10 would
I
recommend.
did
Yeah.
see that movie.
It's a
You didn't see it?
I did
No, I think
see
you said
it.
he
I was about to be like,
I
oh
had
my god.
problems with it though.
Hashtag not my roommate.
I want to say the only problems I have with it is like it had the potential to like be that like not edgy, just like it had the potential to be
Yeah.
like
Like-
something crazy. Like
Oh,
it
yeah.
had its moment. Like it had its moment where it can be like this crazy commentary on the movie. But I know it's like media based, so you can't be
yeah.
pick a side.
Well,
but it had its moment.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like all
No.
the trailers made it think that it was gonna be like like blue versus red or like
It was
have
a
very
war
big
movie.
message about it, but that's not what
Yeah.
the movie's about. The movie is about like just like the violence of war and like the people behind the scenes and like the toll that it takes on everyone, even the people in the media itself. So
And I
pretty
think,
crazy
I
that-
think its moment was that it brought it to USA. Like,
yeah,
I mean, everyone can say, "Oh, I'm anti-war" when they're watching Saving Private Ryan and it's on the beaches of Normandy. But when you see it's in our capital, when you see it's in New York and there's bombs going off, like it just feels so real in that moment.
Yeah. The only thing that I just didn't like, it works for some people. I didn't like the no explanation because I was like, how the hell is California and Florida together on anything?
it was
And I was
California,
like,
Texas, and
where
Florida.
are we at in the world right now? Like, what is going on?
It was
in the world? So it took me
California,
a little bit.
Texas, and Florida.
Yeah,
like,
Texas.
The
Yeah, like,
three,
what?
like they would not. There's no way. But like again, that's not really what the movie's about.
Yeah. I'm not saying like,
Yeah.
I needed to know everything, but I was just sitting there like,
And I think that
What's
once
going
people
on?
realize that's not what it's about, they enjoy it more. But I think this is definitely like a movie like more people should have seen, and I think over time more people will appreciate it. I hope more people will appreciate it. That's just me.
I like that we actually had. It's been a while since we've had like a good divisive movie like that
Mhm.
Yeah,
that people talk about. So I'm like, this is awesome.
that was great. All right, phenomenal pick by Zeke. Jamar, it's back. It's to you.
All right. I actually was not going to take this movie until I was texting Nick, and I kind of forgot that this movie came out because it's kind of getting shafted in award season. But I will take it because I did love it. I will take Dune Part 2.
Son of a bitch.
You're an asshole.
Damn it. I also would have taken this one.
I kind of forgot about it until Nick was talking about it. I was like, yeah, I guess 'cause it's
God
not
damn it, Nick.
flying under
Why'd
the
you have to help
radar.
him?
It's not flying under the radar, but it came out in March, so like I saw a lot of
Yeah,
stuff from
this
March
was like
to
the
now.
The movie's a masterpiece.
This was like
Yeah.
the movie of the summer. This was the one that
Nothing short of it.
Yeah.
The only thing that
The movie
sucks
of
is
the
That's
summer.
the
like
movie of the
it's not a
summer.
leap
It's a
day.
different movie.
it came out. It came out in March or April, right?
It was a birthday present
Yeah,
for
but
me,
it was
man.
like the big block. You know what I mean? Like it was the big
like
blockbuster.
everyone was like, it was everywhere. Like all the edits, all your posts was everything
Mhm.
in like April, May, June, July. Yeah. So the reason why I like
Yeah.
it so much is I actually watched Dune Part 1 right before I went into Dune Part 2. So I had to
This
learn all
is
the
true.
terminology and I took Zeke with me. I'm like, all right, let's go watch Dune Part 2. And oh my gosh, By the time
Watching
the last
good.
by the time the last hour rolls around, I'm like, please, I don't even want it to end. I was so
Mhm.
locked in. I'm like, I need more of this now.
Dude,
So I will wait
honestly
however
think,
long we need to for Messiah.
I honestly think you could skip one. Because I was one of the people, I actually didn't really like Dune Part 1 that much. I found it kind of
It's
boring.
not.
I think it
I
had
think
pacing
Doom Part
issues.
1 is boring because it's like coming from us that like
It's all
Star Wars and
politics.
Yeah.
yeah, and like trying to get
And I
people
don't
into
even
Doom
mind
Part 1, you
politics
get the
movies.
but, like you just got it's so much terminology. You have
Yeah.
to learn all these words.
Game
What's
of
the
Thrones in
world?
space.
Yeah, but
Mhm.
it's so much thrown at you in the first one. But if you endure the first one, you get to the second movie. It's a ride.
Again, I
It's
feel like
awesome.
honestly, people are smart enough to be like, all right, what's the second movie about? This dude, he used to be a prince. His dad's dead. His kingdom's taken over. He's in the desert now. Go, and
He's
that's
supposed to be dead. He's supposed to be dead. Like
Yeah.
no one knows he's alive.
But I feel like
He's
you can start Dune Part 2 with no knowledge of 1, and you'll figure it out 15. You'll figure out what 1 was about 15 minutes in, and you'll
Hard
get
to
it
spoil
great,
the
and
first
just
one
go.
for me. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm
Well,
not even
that's-
gonna fault Caden on not seeing the first one because the first one it is a lot. It is a lot thrown at you, but you
Caden.
have to endure it.
But the second
Brother,
one
that is-
definitely it's very enjoyable. It has great action. The
Oh, yeah.
amazing sound design returns to the first
The
one.
music in there is
Music,
also
yep.
oh
It's goddamn really good special effects. Surprisingly, Timothy Chalamet like rare. I've been very surprised. I was like, oh, this guy actually like doesn't miss that often. He's actually really
Yeah.
good.
Really good.
Especially in this, I was like, oh, this guy like knows what he's talking about.
You know, one thing I forgot he was in Interstellar.
oh
he's
my
in
gosh.
that movie.
Off topic, I just watched Interstellar in IMAX and holy shit.
Yeah, dude, Jamar's a changed
Yeah.
person now.
Another
Changing it.
masterpiece, dude. It's crazy.
All right, Mr. Brown.
All right, it is my pick. I actually was also going to take Dune Part 2 for the same reason, but instead I'll take the movie that should have had all this praise and should have been like the big action movie of the year, and that's Furiosa. Furiosa is fucking awesome. And it's just as good, if not better, than Mad Max Fury Road, and I love that movie. And I'm so pissed off that this movie didn't do super well, like in the box office. It's so fucking good, but because it's a female protagonist, people are assholes.
I think it was more so people like asked for this movie years ago. So
Yeah,
when
it did
actually
take
became
a
real-
while. I feel
real
like if this
thing,
movie came out like 2 or 3 years earlier.
Yeah, and I think people were like, "Why do we need a Furiosa movie?" But Furiosa was such an interesting part of Mad Max
she
Fury
was the
Road.
coolest
I
part
will
of the
also
movie.
say, I feel like the trailers never really did it justice. I remember
Yeah,
watching the trailer and being like, this looks bad. Like,
Kinda
this does
mid.
not look good to me.
But it wasn't.
And
it was so good.
like when the guys in the she's yelling from the pool, the booma, whatever it's called, it just looked awful. Like the CG looked
Yeah,
terrible
They
in
did,
that
they
part.
did not help it with the trailer,
Yeah.
and I was.
I'll give you that. The trailers didn't do it justice. But
watched,
like
like-
the actual movie itself, like most of its effects are practical, like the last one. It's very well acted. It's
It is stunning to
shots.
look
Its
at.
world building is so cool. I think Chris Hemsworth does a great job as a villain.
Oh yeah.
I like.
I love that. I love that it wrapped everything up that you probably wondered in Mad Max Fury
Yeah.
Road in Furiosa.
But I don't think it did like the like essentially like the Han Solo thing where it gave a backstory for every little detail.
Yeah,
It just
like some things just let happen. Just let some things happen. I just want to watch
Yeah.
it. It'll be good.
All right. But no, that's a great movie. I think it's underrated. Ian, it is your go, and you actually get 2 picks here.
All right.
Because you're the end.
For my first pick, there's a lot of thought gone into this movie, and I think it's a real critical thinker movie. Really divisive and just a long time coming. I'm gonna choose Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Instant bop. I remember
Great movie.
the first one coming out and be like, this is gonna be awful. Like, it's gonna be cringe. It's gonna be terrible. Love the first one. Second one comes out, so good. And I will say this: I shot up out of my seat at the end of the second one. I was like, let's go, let's go. Third one comes around and same damn thing. We were just in the movie theater, and my wife does not like most movies. For a movie nut to marry into that, it's a little bit of torture. But she was enthralled, loved this movie from start to finish. Can't wait for the next one. Gonna get Metal Sonic, hopefully. It's just an ode to nostalgia, and it's exactly what a Sonic movie should be. There's no deep moral message, really. There's anything special besides the fact that it's a Sonic. There's quick quips, and it's just fun, man. It's just fun. That's all it needs to be.
There was a
such
but
a
now
good movie
spoiler.
for
There is
fans.
a scene in the end of the movie that is insane to watch. That I did not expect to see out of the Sonic franchise.
It's such a love letter. Like, it's exactly what the Mario
Yes.
movie did. It's a love letter to people that actually like these.
Hey,
these
don't get Nick
games.
started on that movie.
Yeah, I mean, well, Nick hates fun movies, so that's why he doesn't like it.
He's awfully quiet right now.
Yeah, it's just past his bedtime. That's all. All right.
It's past my
Hell,
bedtime.
somebody's got to be
Where's-
quiet.
Where's the plot in my Mario movie?
Where's the plot?
Hey, Caden, where you at, Caden?
Plot.
All right.
Yeah, I heard the dog days are over earlier today, and I immediately thought of Nick. You know, saying there's no character growth in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So,
All right.
I'm sure you'd never heard of that song before the movie.
oh yeah, totally. I just haven't heard any of those songs ever in that.
You never
movie
turned the
yet.
radio on in 2013.
Not at all. Not at all.
Okay, Ian. It is. It's still your go. You get the double pick from Ian.
All right. So actually, this is I swear I don't pick fun movies all the time.
Mhm.
I enjoy thought to my films and stuff like that. But I'm going Gladiator 2 here. This was one of my favorites. I was very fortunate enough to be one of the first people to see it before it even released. It was so good. It had me glued to the edge of my seat the entire movie. I was just pumped. I mean, it gave me everything I wanted to see. It's not Gladiator 1, but it is fight scenes, it's violence, it speaks to any testosterone in a dude. It's crazy. It's awesome, and it just was so fun to watch, and I had such a good experience too.
You're right.
It's
It's
such-
not Gladiator 1 because it's better than Gladiator 1.
That's a bold
Are you
statement.
serious?
That's a bold statement.
That's bold.
That is
Man,
so not
you-
true. I watched Gladiator 1 and then went and saw Gladiator 2, and I got so many Gladiator 1 like edits and shit, and it was I needed it.
Dude, like
Denzel,
I remember
Denzel was hooping.
I think they just did a
Denzel's
little
talking
too
in a New York
much.
accent.
Denzel just
Hey,
plays a really good like ancient villain. Like that
It
dude's
just did. I think
That's-
there's just a little too much. I know it's called Gladiator, but there's too much of the Gladiator fights in this one when it should be so much more like political comment, like just crazy stuff.
Much more
True.
political in this do you need in the
Did-
movie? There's
Did
There's
the
like-
guy
there's
that
like
likes
eight
Fast
gladiator
X
fights.
just
Oh
make
my
a comment
gosh.
about this movie?
There's like 8 fights in this damn movie.
All right,
Naval
but
battle, though.
this
The
is
naval
the
battle was
same things they say about Godzilla movies. I mean, they say,
you're
"Oh,
right.
I don't get enough. I don't get enough Godzilla," and then when they get enough, they're like, "Oh, I didn't get enough of the other part." Like, come on.
Now, I'm
Dude.
not saying I didn't like it. I liked it. I just think saying it's better than the first one is a little wild.
Yeah, that's probably
Because
wild.
I put in my review.
Yeah, that's
Put in my
crazy.
review like
The
this
first
movie
one
is
had
an
me
epic.
feeling things when I was a
Yeah.
kid. I was like,
This
damn.
movie is an epic, and there's stuff that is skipped. Like stuff just happens. I'm like, come on, it's a 2.5-hour movie. Just show it. I don't need a off-screen stuff. Just show it.
It's empty carbs.
Yes, like Pedro Pascal it just happens. I'm like, come on, just
Yeah,
show
that's
me the
true.
turn. Show me,
Very
show me all the
true.
turn. Yeah.
All right.
Hey, what are you
Like,
thinking,
for-
Drew?
It is back to me, and I'm going with probably. You know, I'm gonna save that pick for later because I'm gonna go with one that might be stolen from me later. But I have to pick one of the best horror movies that came out. As a big horror fan myself, I'm going with The Substance.
Oh,
I saw. Yep, and I was like, yeah,
it's
this,
so fucking good.
it's so good, and I'm ashamed of myself that it took me so long to actually see this movie. Like, so many people were like, Drew, this is the movie you like. And I was like, I'll get it to it later. I finally watched it like on stream, and I was like, yeah, I love this, of course. Like, it's a smart horror movie.
good.
And I love that kind of stuff, where it's like, it's a psychological base. Like, there are a few jump scares, but really not in what about it. It has like an actual message and cleverness to it. It's great, and it's one of those ones where I'm like, I don't even want to talk about it. If you haven't seen it yet, go watch it. Just don't make the mistake I did and like try to eat food while watching it. 'Cause that was-
Drew, I thought you were for sure going to take Cuckoo.
Nah.
You loved that movie. according to Letterboxd.
That movie is, what the fuck happened in that movie? What the fuck was anything in Cuckoo?
Yeah,
Drew,
read
really
the review. Read the review for that movie.
Yeah. Read the review right now live.
Drew, when I got out of
no.
Cuckoo, when I got out of that, I was
struggling
just
in
kind of like, yeah, this movie happened.
Okay.
Caden
all
could
right,
never
you
watch
are.
The Substance because there's too much nudity in The Substance, so Caden could not watch that movie.
Oh yeah.
What do you got, Jamar?
All right. Everything is kind of getting taken, so I'm gonna jump on this
He's gonna
pick.
take it.
What do you think I'm gonna take? I'm gonna take a movie I know a lot of people in this might like.
my movie, bro.
Not true, because I know what you're taking behind me.
Madam Web. Come on, bro.
Yes,
That's
sir.
not
I'm
okay.
taking. I'm not the biggest fan of the sport until I watch this movie.
Ain't no way.
But
Ain't no way.
I will be taking Challengers. I'm sorry.
Oh man.
I
That's
thought about taking
insane.
this one. I thought about taking
Challengers
this
is
one.
my next
I literally got tennis on right now.
I know.
Australian Open.
There's multiple. There's a few reasons why I like it. The first, I think Mike saw it before me, and Mike told me to go watch Challengers. But like the music in it first was awesome. Like I love just the vibe of it. Like I love that it took place during this match, during this tennis match, and it's just other stuff going on. Like it made the one tennis match so much more interesting once you get like all the little tidbits and like, is he actually going to win this match? Like, is his career legit?
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of awesome. And like, I think all three performances are so great. And anything that Zendaya is in, I will be there. I will be there.
man.
I will be seeing it as well.
I love-
Yes.
I love that she's getting her flowers right now, and I love it. I love it.
It's a great
I
movie.
don't know how
She's
Tom.
got-
I don't know
she's
how
still-
Tom Holland watched that movie though.
He watched it pissed off. He watched it pissed off as shit.
Watch
Watched
it
it with
like
a
this.
blindfold, man. Watched it with a blindfold.
He watched it from the cup chair in the corner of the hotel room.
And the Hamilton Inn.
Like,
Yeah, yeah.
He probably
Or
watched
Hampton.
it
I'm
with
sorry,
his now
I'm sorry,
fiancé.
Easy Kyle, but I know what you're taking here.
That's tough because that really was my next pick. That is a tough one.
I thought about.
Can't believe I got sniped like that. We'll take Deadpool and Wolverine here.
You're kidding me. Oh my
I
god.
knew
It
that.
was
That
gonna
was
fall
down.
on me.
Of course, Caden was grieving immediately.
I'm actually amazed
was gonna fall
that
on
was
me.
not Caden's first pick. I thought for sure that was going to be Caden's.
I thought for sure his
Ah,
was Furiosa.
He wanted Inside Out too, man. He wanted that.
I
It's
thought
just
Deadpool
gotta
and
do.
Wolverine was going to be Caden's first pick as well. So
Strategically, I knew it was gonna fall to me, but because Jamar did that,
I thought I was getting challengers, Caden.
of course it's Jamar's fault.
Blame Mike first. Mike got the first one on me.
Dude, you took Dune for me, man. I wanted Dune.
Yeah, that's real tough.
All right, Michael.
Zeke, why'd you like this movie so much?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, this movie made my inner child so happy. Like Hugh Jackman in a blue and yellow classic Wolverine suit.
He looks
For
so
17
good in that. He looks so good. in
Oh
that
my
suit.
god, it was awesome.
This is such
Chris
a movie
Evans.
for anyone that grew up with like the Fox X-Men and just all
If
those.
you
movies.
if you were one of like the 10 Fox X-Men fans at your school, this movie is for you.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
I had the
Bro,
That's
lunchbox. I
awesome.
still have that
movie.
lunchbox.
X2
This
was
movie
that
is
movie.
for you. This movie is for you. If
So
you endured that
good.
pain.
Rough, man.
Oh my god.
Also, I just want to point out
appealed to the inner child.
This movie brought in the house that Blade built. There would be no MCU without that motherfucker Wesley Snipes.
Fucking
That is
love
his
Getting-
it.
house.
Getting to see Channing Tatum as Gambit was
Oh,
a lot cooler
Man.
than I thought it was going to be.
God.
I saw something. It really does hit like if you're like in the know about casting news, but your average Joe will go into that and be like, "Why the fuck is Channing Tatum in it?"
Yeah, like
Oh
now-
my god, it was
yeah.
so awesome.
Yeah, and it's so weird because it's like a random casting rumor that happened when we were in high school,
I
and
saw this movie
it
3
got
times.
paid off.
It's such a.
I
it's
have
such a-
also seen it 3 times since it's come to streaming.
I about jumped out of my seat when I saw Wesley Snipes though. On God, that
Oh
shit
man,
meant it meant something to me.
And the line,
I-
the
I-
line
dude,
he
I
said-
was losing my
The
shit.
line he said where he said, "There's only one Blade, and always ever will be." And he looked at the camera, and and then after all the shit that's happened, I was like, I guess he's right. There is only
It was.
one.
I don't know if y'all saw, but it also hit different. Like when at Comic-Con they watched the movie live, and the hug between Ron Reynolds and Wesley Snipes, it made me feel something.
So
even though they
good.
said there was no beef, it still made me feel something.
Let me just say, some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill, man.
All right.
Oh, God.
Jamar went
Fucking
absolutely
love Blade.
crazy in the seat next to me when Blade showed up.
It was one of those
That-
I did not know that it was even a possibility it was
Yeah.
gonna happen.
No one did.
My wife was sitting next to me, and I remember she got so freaked out because she hasn't watched Blade, and she didn't recognize him. I jumped and I grabbed her by the shoulders and was like, "Oh my god, it's fucking
He
Blade!"
just started punching
And
his
she's
wife.
like-
just
She
straight.
was like,
Oh,
"It's
wow,
straight
wow.
into me."
Oh my god!
I didn't go that far.
All right, now I'm joking. I'm joking.
Almost
All right.
broke.
Big,
Jamar almost broke the chair out of excitement.
yeah.
But he was like jumping up and down, bro. It was
I think
crazy.
Jamar and I are probably the biggest Blade fans in
Oh
this
god!
chat.
Oh god! Ian, when that game
Probably.
comes out, we will be there.
Dude, I'm glued to it, dude. You won't see me for a week.
All
Until
right.
Blake gets that movie in 2030, I'm front row.
It's 2030. Fuck, it's 2040. by then. It's
2040?
coming out.
Jesus. We'll be dead by then. All right, Big
That
Mike.
shit's not
Big
coming
Mike,
out.
It's your turn. It's Mike's turn.
All right. I have 2 that I could pick here. I know Nick's probably going to take the other one, so I'm not going to take it. But I'm going to take what's probably going to win Best Picture, Anora.
Mhm.
Ilya Perez.
Oh, good
For
thing you
sure.
took it from Caden.
Of
That
course you are.
that fiend.
I didn't even like it that much.
Caden watched the movie.
Mike
with his
actually
eyes
sent me something
closed
about
and the
Anora
lotion
today.
bottle in his hand.
Oh god, Caden! As soon as the movie started, Caden was right there.
Okay,
Let me
Mike,
go
why
ahead
do you
and-
like it?
This was another one that I really was not excited for. I actually saw the trailer for this when I saw Between the Temples, just like I saw a Real Pains trailer then. I actually was gonna go see Conclave the night that I saw this and changed my mind last minute and saw Nora. And I was hooked basically from the beginning. Like this, I wasn't expecting it to be as funny as it was. I wasn't expecting it to be as I'm trying to think of the word. I mean, it's exciting as far as like the story because it's like, where's it going to go next? It's actually hilarious, and it's got a bunch of actors who most people have never even heard of, and even Mikey Madison, who plays the lead, has not been a main in anything. And as Nick has pointed out, this is the first movie I've actually seen her in where she doesn't burn to death. So
Literally.
Yeah, that's very true.
that was a plus. But yeah, I mean, this was totally unexpected to be as good as it was. And whenever it came out and people were saying Best Picture favorite, Best Picture buzz, I was like shocked because I was like because actually the trailer that I saw for it was a Red Band trailer, which was actually the first Red Band trailer that I'd actually ever seen in a movie theater. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. And I was like, this doesn't really look that incredible. And then it got a bunch of buzz, and I was like, wow, this is not what I was expecting. So whenever I saw it, I was very pleasantly surprised. And I haven't rewatched it, but as more I thought about it, even gave it a higher score than I gave it initially. And it's probably, I mean, if it wins Best Picture, I think it's pretty well deserved, honestly.
That's Amelia Perez.
Yeah.
Mike, it's funny you mentioned Conclave.
Absolutely not.
because Conclave will be my next pick.
Well, I mean, it's Caden
Not my
next.
second favorite movie of the year.
Yeah,
So-
Caden doesn't take it.
He's not gonna take
I haven't
Conclave.
seen it. I don't think
That
Mike.
movie,
Has he
Michael,
heard of
That movie
Conclave?
was- yes, it was
No.
so boring.
Yes.
It's on Peacock. I watched it.
Oh,
Boo.
you didn't.
It's good.
Caden, you do have the opportunity to do the funniest thing ever. It is.
it's
it
literally
is-
about the conclave, the actual conclave.
It is
It's
Caden's
supposed
pick. He
to
does have the opportunity to be the funniest and pettiest shit in the world.
take
Hey,
it.
Caden was the
Let's
type
go
of guy
for
to be
Darren.
hating on
But I
Lincoln
don't
when it
think
came out.
I don't think he reviewed it. I don't remember if he. But you said you watched it.
Just wait till Conclave 2 comes out in 15 years, and Caden will say that
With,
was better.
with Thanos.
Alright. Caden, what is your actual pick?
Well, now I'm changing my strategy since Jamar started this, domino effect.
Mike started it.
So
He's gonna take Argyle.
right.
I forgot about that movie.
This is Ultraman right here.
I was saving
Yeah,
this for
all the
round
time.
3. I was saving this
Okay.
for round 3. So I'm just going to take it now before it gets taken. I think everybody enjoyed this movie except Michael's system. I don't know if he ever seen this movie because it is a musical. So therefore, I'm going to pick Wicked.
Fuck.
No, I didn't see Wicked.
Motherfucker.
I
And
never.
I'm-
That again.
Mike's
Nah.
sleeping right now. Mike's sleeping.
I really loved Wicked, even though I've
Mid.
actually never seen the Broadway production, even though I've seen
Mid.
the Broadway production of every other musical I love. But it was great. I mean, even Ariana Grande, even though a lot of people hate, thought she was great. Defying Gravity, I really like, even though Nick doesn't like it.
And it's funny.
And I understand why he doesn't like it.
Andy
Because he prefers his Broadway version. That's me within the heights, so I understand.
Yep. I can agree on
Um,
one thing.
Got a hot
but
take on Caden.
I thought it was great, and I can't wait for part 2 next year.
I
So
think
well,
Ariana Grande is the perfect cast to cast the annoying blonde character. I
My
thought she
my
fit that
hot
well.
take is
Yeah.
when everyone's seen it, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When Kristen Chenoweth and Idina Menzel show up, like I don't know, it's two different spectacles when they're singing, and then when Cynthia and Ariana Grande are singing, because I think Cynthia Erivo's voice is so great, especially when it's in color purple. So I'm just saying, her versions of the songs hit like crack in the 80s.
Let's move on. Because there's just factual incorrect things being.
Nick, you know this. Her
Like,
version of Wizard and I,
Hey.
you know her version of Wizard and I. is
To be fair, that
The only-
the Wizard and I is not even close to the best song in either version.
But that version of it is crazy.
Look, I gotta move on. It's like someone telling me that Spaceballs was better than Star Wars.
Oh my
although it's
god.
quite good.
Like, Nick doesn't want to see
It's
a
a
black
good pick,
person
Caden.
succeed.
All right.
It's a good pick,
That's
Caden.
All right,
insane.
Nick, you get 2 here.
I'm taking Conclave first. Speaking of not wanting to see a black man secede, hashtag Adeyemi was doomed in this movie.
The white man set him up for failure.
They literally blackmailed this man.
They literally blackmailed and blackballed him. It was insane. It was insane.
Okay, I gotta say, man, this is a thriller movie, but the only thing happening is people just talking for a couple hours. So
Oh, I know
that's
exactly what it
exactly
is.
why I said it's boring.
Bro, how is it? It's
Um,
literally that's what the conclave is.
it rocks.
That's all it is.
Again, this is not my favorite movie of the year. My
It's like
second
going
favorite
into the
movie is
Mario
probably a
movie
real
and
pain.
saying like, why is it all just fun and like people jumping around? It's like, yeah,
That's
what
their
did you
good
expect?
usage.
Where's
How's
the
their-
plot?
Where's
Yeah, it's like when you go into Conclave, you expect just to be popes talking.
Nick,
It's your expectations.
Nick, he wanted the popes to have a fight scene.
Yeah, exactly.
He was pissed that Chris Evans didn't play Mr. Fantastic. Running
Dang
for
it, they
Pope.
didn't fight during the lunch scene? What the fuck?
Conclave would have been better to Caden if fast cars were being sent to space and it was all about family. Family.
Pope
Yeah,
John
no,
Paul, it's all
yeah,
about
no,
family.
Actually heard Vin
him the
Diesel
Pope.
was supposed to be the Pope, actually. That's what I heard.
I'm not gonna lie, I'd probably watch that movie. I'd probably watch that shit. That probably would be funny as hell.
Yeah, Pope Francis actually is an espionage master. Yeah, that.
You know, when
Francis.
they elect a new pope, it's not smoke, it's exhaust fumes.
Motor oil, actually.
Yeah.
Rev up the Chargers, son.
Okay, can I go off the deep end for my next pick?
Oh Jesus, he's gonna
sure,
pick
yeah.
In a Violent Nature.
He's
It's
picking the
me.
people's Joker.
I'm going so off the rails.
Mid a Ledoux.
100 Beavers.
You are correct, Jamar.
Oh wow.
Wait, what
I
is
love
it?
that
It's
movie.
called Hundreds of Beavers.
Nick,
This
I even
movie
told
is
you
a
to
silent.
Nick, I just want to point out, I told you to
It's
message
silent-
me if you
silent
had
movie.
weird picks
Silent
beforehand.
movie.
Okay, this is a silent movie. It's in black and white. It is about a man who is beaten up and messed up with for about 2 hours by a bunch of people who are wearing beaver costumes. It sounds terrible. Trust
That
me.
sounds awesome.
Nick somehow
really-
loves this movie. Nick loves
It's
it.
brilliant. It's brilliant. You have to see it. I had a blast. I kind of didn't really enjoy the first 30 minutes or so. I was like, this is just lunacy. But it just takes a dive into pure geniusness. It's wonderful. Brilliant movie. I'm pretty sure this is shot on print, which I always appreciate. Yeah, I had a great time watching this
I don't know,
movie.
Nicholas. Without spoiling it, Nicholas, will you?
Mhm.
Is there another silent movie you're taking?
No. No more
I thought you
silent
saw-
movies.
Okay, so there is another one I know you watched.
I saw
What
other
about
movies
Nosferatu?
I saw a couple.
But
You
I'm not gonna-
have to bow.
Nosferatu.
I saw, I think 3 movies this year that didn't have dialogue. I'm not going to take those 2,
Okay.
but this is a great movie. Sasquatch Sunset is not that bad, though. I will tell you that. Speaking of Jesse
Definitely.
Eisenberg, Mike
Definitely
mentioned him
not.
earlier, but yeah.
Definitely one I was expecting.
But is yours friend
will sign your
Instagram?
And my
yeah,
Drew,
Count
Beavers is, there's an A in Beavers.
I'm trying to go
God.
back. This is why I even told you to tell me about your weird ass movie.
Beavers.
I even told you to tell him because it's the one movie I didn't have written down. You piece of shit. I even told
Hold
you.
on.
Tell me if there's a weird movie ahead of time. I mean, Beavers
How
is
is
the
it
one
weird?
we
I
spelled,
guess
that's what I'm
I
saying.
guessed it
It's
immediately.
not that weird. It's I actually watched it. It's good.
Loki. Also,
weird.
this movie made $783,000. By the way, it did not break $1 million.
Yeah, when Nick said his movies did not do box office, I immediately knew it was 100 Beavers.
It's not the only movie that didn't break $1 million that I'm gonna take. But
All right,
that'll come out later.
Caden. Back to you.
All right. So I'm not exactly sure if this movie's going to get taken. I think it could be taken. It probably would be. Well, it could not be. I don't know. I don't know what y'all think. I really enjoyed this movie. Went to see it. It kind of surprised me this year. So I'm gonna go with Wild Robot.
Ooh, good
I
pick.
did not know you liked that movie.
Actually,
I did
that's
not
a
know
That's
you liked
good
It was
that movie.
pick.
awesome.
That's a
It's
really,
a really good pick.
Wild Robot was awesome.
That thing had me fucking crying.
That's probably
Very
like my
emotional.
second favorite animated movie this year.
The Pedro Pascal verse.
It was great. Storyline was great. Thought it was awesome. Animation was cool. I'm not a big, I don't care about animation like you guys do, but I thought
Well,
it
you
was
say
great.
you have 2
Yeah.
animated picks on your thing right now.
Yeah, that's a crazy thing to say. And 2 of your picks are animated movies.
Yeah.
It's great. Hey, strategic. Yeah, thought it was great. So I really enjoyed Wild Robot. So,
Well, buddy, I think I'm going to steal your 3rd animated movie.
All right.
That's Drew's movie for sure.
Moana 2.
Go ahead.
Damn, how'd you know?
Kung Fu Panda.
All right, Zeke.
Chop
what-
Kick Panda 4.
Drop kick Panda 4. Hey Mook.
Yeah, it's Mark's pick.
I have a
I
Mike
didn't
pick,
think
but I don't
that-
know if he's gonna take it yet.
I think I have to. Well, I'm trying to think.
There is one movie I know for sure Mike's taking though.
Take Dee I didn't take it for you, Mike.
I also
Damn,
didn't I also didn't
don't
take
take-
DD. Mook.
don't take DD.
That's not the movie I predicted Mike to get.
Actually, I lied, Mike. You can have DD.
I'm gonna take it now. I'll take Dee Dee. That's my number 1 movie of the year, so I might as well go ahead and take it.
DD
I
was
didn't
going to
think it
be
would
my
fall this
4th
far.
movie.
I didn't think it'd fall this far. I thought Nick was for sure gonna take it over Hundreds of Beavers.
I had to do it.
So this was another one. I was I actually did not see a trailer for this one, but I'd seen it on a few movie sites, and obviously it's no secret. Like, if a movie has an Asian focused plot, I tend to like it. I don't know why, but
We
this
know.
was like-
We know.
Oh, whoops! I need to write it down.
if you could, I mean, I was only 8 or 9 years old in this time, but if you could make a movie to perfectly encapsulate the late 2000s, mid to late 2000s, this movie perfectly gets that feel down. It's the main character feels like exactly what it would be like to be in that era with chat rooms, MySpace, that type of stuff. And you really get invested in his story with his family struggles and stuff. I'm trying not, I don't want to spoil it or anything, but it's supposedly autobiographical by the director Sean Wong. And I mean, he really did a great job. And this was the second movie I had seen with Isaac Wong after Good Boys, where he's like
Anger.
4 years old.
He plays Soren. Soren.
Soren.
Soren.
Soren has the record for most sips. 2.
You sipped that beer like a champ.
Sippy cup. I think this movie was so awesome because like it legit like a lot of like timepieces, like when they pick a specific part of like time, like can seem real corny and over the top. But like if you told me this movie was made in the early 2000s, I'd believe it.
Mhm.
This song, or Mike, this has a MGMT needle drop in the trailer.
Yeah.
Thank
The
God.
Yes,
DD trailer to
Yeah, it has kids, which is a banger.
That's
Dude,
I hadn't actually seen
movie
it.
was so good.
Or anything.
Yeah, you
I
gotta
mean
like
that. I mean, if you really think that kind of perfectly gets what the feel of this movie is, it's like being a teenager in the late 2000s, having
Being into
fun with your
skateboarding,
friends.
and everyone goes to that skateboarding phase when you're like,
Oh, yeah.
So
Mike,
No,
man.
it's not a phase.
I am-
What are you talking about?
I am
phase,
so
bro.
glad, Mike, that
I
somebody
got
felt
3
the
more
same
in
way
my
about
room.
Dee Dee that I did. Dee Dee was so good. The whole time I watched that movie, Mike, I was like, it hit me in the nostalgia
Yeah.
the entire time, dude. Holy shit.
I think it was real awesome, like seeing like the cringy edits that he would make, or just like the videos of him
Yeah.
just trying to fit into that crowd. And then
Trying to find his
what was-
peep.
what was his name? What was the name they gave him in that movie? His nickname?
Wang Wang.
Wang Wang.
yeah,
I just love that they see him at school. They say, "What's up, Wang Wang?"
Wang Wang.
All right.
What you got, Zeke?
What's you doing, Zeke?
We're gonna take Transformers.
Transformers 1.
Drew's
I knew
punching
that
air
was
right
gonna
now.
drop. I knew that wasn't gonna drop.
Me?
Drew's punching air.
Oh no, that's not.
Drop
That was
it,
my
you-
number 1 animated movie. No,
I
that's
thought
not
you.
what
I
was
thought you liked that movie.
I
Drew.
liked it. I liked it. No, it was really good.
Okay.
It wasn't what I was gonna go for.
Okay, I thought for sure that was like one of your
Well,
top. Like,
I
2
had to
movies.
get it before Caden could steal it from me.
And get his third straight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
since
no,
I had
no, it was-
challengers taken from me.
Sorry,
Look what you did, Jamar.
No,
I'm actually going out of the box for this next pick.
No, but Transformers 1 was definitely like super underrated. It was oddly hated when it came out, and then like
I
Yeah,
don't know. Understand the fucking
discourse-
hate.
yeah, the discourse online.
Yeah, I don't
seeing
get the
Transformers
hate
1
either.
Fight, yeah, people are fighting Transformers 1 versus other movies. It's like people wanted it to fail
I
so bad.
watched it, I
It
was
was
like-
so fucking good.
it's
It was
it's
awesome.
like the reviews made it sound like awful, like Madam Web's a little bad. I watched it,
Trailers
trailers
for it
were
were terrible.
the trailers were
terrible.
awful.
Yeah, it was
And
so
I-
awful. Like,
The
the
last 45
the
minutes of the movie is peak. I mean, it is great.
What'd you,
It is
hold on,
awesome,
what'd you
like-
say, Caden?
The last 45 minutes of Transformers 1 is peak.
I think it's
Oh,
just
dude,
it's just
the
the
best scene in that
marketing.
movie is when they introduced Bad Acidron.
It's Cage
That
Fighter.
is- I'm not gonna lie, ironically, Bumblebee's voice is the one thing I don't like in that movie. It just doesn't sound like Bumblebee to me.
But Drew, it's just like the show. Like it's like
Yeah.
it's just so show based. I think
It's-
we're
it's
blinded by the
Keenan
Michael
from
Bay
Keenan and
films.
Peele, which I
Yeah,
find
the
funny.
Bay movies, man.
I think this movie falls into the not getting people that are voice actors for this movie.
Yeah.
They just got big names. Because like I put in my review, like Chris Hemsworth has a scene where he's like trying to rally the troops, and I'm like, this doesn't hit like an Optimus Prime
Oh,
scene, 'cause
he
I just
tried
hear-
so hard to be Optimus.
Yeah, and I'm like, I
It's
just
about
hear
Peter
Chris.
Cullen.
But dude, the dude.
Yeah, I
that-
just hear Chris Hemsworth.
What's the? I can't remember his name. The guy that voices Megatron though.
He's actually a pretty good VS.
Oh,
Who's
he's
it?
Brian
amazing.
Tyree Henry.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like the one
that
dude
was
that's like he is
amazing.
putting in. He's earning
No,
that
I
rent
wish
money.
I wish voice actors would get
Phenomenal.
like some like show, like some showcase, because that man, he put in a shift.
Yeah, he was.
Dude,
he
he
was
really
like the
did.
only
Oh,
one in the
good.
crew that was like he is.
He was the
trying
only
his
he
ass
was
off.
the only voice, and like it's just so weird the names that are attached to this movie. It was just to like promote it, like, oh, Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
He's
I
in
was
Thor.
gonna say, hearing Chris Hemsworth as
And then
Optimus Prime
ScarJo?
after hearing
I
you know
didn't
Peter
mind
Cullen as
ScarJo
Optimus
as
Prime
much.
for like 15 years was really weird.
Yeah,
Yeah,
didn't
I
mind
think
Yeah.
I think for more movies like this, I know like they're big names, but I'd much rather you get like a voice actor,
Professional
get
voice
someone
actor,
that's
yeah.
an actual professional voice
Yeah.
actor, and then go in, because I don't know, it didn't do it for me. I was Chris Hemsworth.
All right, Jamar,
do
it
you
is
got,
your
Jamar?
go now.
I don't know how many people watch this movie, but I texted Nick when I watched this movie because it really hit, because it's a coming of age movie, which I love, and the specific what coming of age movie this is, I will be taking Snack Shack.
Oh hell yeah, man!
I love this movie because
Damn, I
you
kind
know,
of forgot about
I-
that one.
I worked in Parks and Recreation and it for years. So like seeing them work at a pool, just doing all the random stuff like, oh, let's make this concession stand to make our own money. And I'm like, this is so relatable, because it was the same stupid stuff I had to do when I was like 18, 19 in this little baseball concession stand making money. And then like it got pretty deep, and I didn't expect for it to get deep. Like, I thought it was just gonna be this fun little summer type movie, but like it gets pretty hard in there. And I'm like, this is like awesome. Like this is what it like is growing up. And then like, I don't want to spoil, but then like something crazy happens and it takes a whole like change of pace, change of tone. It's I don't know. It was
I
real.
completely
real stuff.
forgot this movie existed and it came out.
I loved it.
I feel like this is definitely like a sleeper one. I'm honestly like it completely flew under the radar for me.
What are you gonna take, Drew?
I'm sorry. This is why I usually have you guys talk, because I'm doing the scores. I am doing my other. I'm just gonna keep the tradition going because these movies need more love. I'm just gonna do another horror movie, and at one
Long
point
Legs
was
was
my
good,
favorite
though.
movie of the year. I'm doing Late Night with the Devil.
I
Oh,
knew it.
dude.
I knew it.
Yeah,
I
you
knew
did-
it.
you knew
Ah,
Of
I
course
love
knew
that
it.
movie.
I knew it when everyone's guessing long list. I'm like, fuck no. It was on my list, but I'm like,
Dude.
Drew's for sure. I'm like, Drew's for sure gonna take this.
That was
Okay,
going to be
Drew
my
loved this
last
movie.
movie because I
love
thought it
this
was all
movie
the
so
way
much.
to the end.
You do not
That
understand.
fucking movie's so
Drew,
good.
Drew, did you see this on release, or did you see this like I thought you saw this at like a random time?
No, I saw this in theaters. I was the only one in
Okay.
theaters, and I went to a theater at like 9 o'clock at night, so I was alone in a theater.
Oh, bro, it's terrifying. I went
Bro, that
So
was the
good, though.
scariest. And I live 5 minutes from a movie theater, so I walked here. That was the scariest walk of my life.
Right, Drew,
on the way back.
Drew, I went in at like 10 o'clock, and there's probably 5 people. And I was after the movie, I was like looking around in like the shadows.
See,
like, what is
you
about
guys
to go
got-
out?
You guys got lucky. I was in a packed. Literally every seat was taken. Including my own. I had to sit in the front row.
Because
And
you go
these kids
on
who were
release
there,
night every
Zing, zing,
time.
zing.
Like every time.
these
you-
kids were throwing Skittles at the screen, and it permanently
Ah.
screened the screen.
Should have seen it with Cameron Davis then. Cameron Davis would have put a stop to that.
I mean, but
Cam
this,
would have made sure you got that seat. Cam would have made sure.
but like this
Hitting
is
the
definitely the
screen.
movie. Like, and I'm going to mispronounce his name, so
Watch.
feel free to correct me. But David Dashkamal. Das.
That's
I think it's
fine.
close.
Nobody knows his name anyway.
I think
That
that's
guy.
close, right? I heard it in the interview. That's close, right?
It's like
Dash
Des
to
Mulch or
Mulch.
something weird.
Yeah, I think it's like
I
Des
think that's
Mulchin or
anyway.
something like that.
He's amazing. And the fact that he hasn't had a leading role before this is wild to me because he's so good.
Whoa.
And he's good in almost everything he is. And I just remember like getting blown away by this movie and its performance. It was creepy. It was eerie. Like it was so scary. It made your skin crawl in just the right way. Like I watched this movie. I walked out of the theater.
Oh.
Like, this is why I love horror movies. This movie right here is why I love horror movies so much.
I loved that like the trailer. Like I only saw one trailer for this movie, and it legitimately was like it felt like it was like 5 minutes of the movie. Like the trailer
Yeah.
was it was like nothing, and I'm like, this is great. And like
Yeah.
I don't know, it just felt so eerie. I think if this movie, put in my review, if this movie came out in October, oh my gosh, it would have been
Yeah,
fucking a
I
hit.
don't even remember.
Oh, it would
when
have been
came
amazing.
It came out early in the
It
year.
was in March. Yeah,
It's
Yeah,
too
it's during
early.
March
It was
Madness.
way too
Yeah,
early
March.
for its.
dude. If
Yeah,
this
it was way too early because when I went at night, I was like, I'm leaving the theater and it's 1,000 degrees outside. I'm like, come out in this fall.
This
More people
movie,
would
I
see
was
it.
like, I was like, why the fuck did this come out when it like that was
Literally,
my
it made
biggest
no
thing. Is like,
sense.
why did this come out? Like, this is one of those films that needed to wait. As much as good as it was, it needed to wait.
It's even set on
Like-
Halloween night, and it just
Yeah, it literally is set there, and I'm like, this would hit like crack if you release it during like Halloween because it's
But-
like we're watching a TV broadcast.
unironically.
Mhm.
Like, I remember halfway through the year in June, Nick asked me like what my favorite movie was, and I had a couple like close second picks, but I was like, this is number one at this point.
I think
in
I
the
put
year.
this in our halfway ranking. I think I had this at like 2 or 3.
This is such a good movie. It's such a
Kind of
it's
under the
such a
kind of
good
under the
movie.
radar. Like I haven't seen people talk about it since
Yeah.
it came out.
This is one of
Which is
those movies. Like
unfortunate.
every one of my coworkers, I'm like, go see Late Night with the Devil. Like this is the one I've been championing, and you're like, go watch this movie. This movie's good. Go
Hey,
watch this movie.
They show me and Zeke's favorite spot in that movie.
Shout out the Grove.
Out the Grove.
All right,
Shout out the Grove.
back to Ian.
All right. This one is divisive, I know, and at first I didn't fully enjoy it. Alien Romulus.
Oh,
Uh,
damn it! I had another one.
I at first, okay, 90% of this movie I fucking loved first watch. Huge Alien guy. I thought the world building in this was something that is incomparable to any of the Alien films we've gotten. I mean, there's stuff they're explaining that you don't understand unless you read the damn books.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is what I finally wanted in an Alien film. And you know, at the end, with I don't want to spoil it, but when the thing happens, at first I was like, I don't know if I like it, and it didn't help because I had this motherfucker right behind me just shoot up out of his seat and start laughing, and I was like, shit,
What?
thanks, asshole. And so I watched it again like 2 weeks ago, and I really loved it, and I thought it is exactly what it needed to be. It had me on edge at times, but honestly, it made me fall back in love with the Alien series, and it was such a fun watch from beginning to end. It was fucking gorgeous. I mean, the sets
Yeah.
were just amazing, and it's just, it felt like an ode. You know, like this is what Alien was and how it should be.
It is, and honestly, this isn't very high praise because the others aren't super great, but it's easily the third best Alien movie.
Yes,
Isn't
yes,
it, isn't
I
it like,
agree.
Isn't like the whole thing with aliens? They want it to be like truckers in space. That's like
Yeah.
that's the
Yes.
whole
Yeah, that
vibe
was
of
the
it.
whole
Yeah.
point
It is
of the
so.
first one.
It is
Yeah.
very much so truckers in space with this one because it's
Yeah.
like everything's so rustic.
Everyone's
and
blue collar and
broody.
everyone's just
Yeah,
trying to
everyone's
get
blue.
by.
Yeah,
I mean,
and, like,
life is shitty on these colony planets.
Like-
it's exactly
like
how it
when
is in
they're-
the books.
when they're actually in the space station, I'm like, this is like it feels so real, and I'm like, this is awesome. I'm like, I can literally sit here, like I can sit in this like setting forever,
Yeah.
and it'll be great. That's why I
I'm
loved it.
a
It gets
absolute sucker for gritty, dusty, disgusting, and depressing story tones. And, like, I'm a sucker for Blade Runner. Like
Oh, buddy, you.
that, I was
Ooh.
like, this is great. This is what I want.
I can see why. Like I came late to the Alien fandom. Like I had to like learn so much right before I went and saw this. So I know why people don't like it. I think it's stupid because I'm like, this is
Yeah.
if you're a fan of this franchise when it first came out, this should be like awesome to you. It's just
Also
like,
compare, like
pure-
I just compare it to like any of
Prometheus.
the other Alien, like either 3 or Resurrection, or I really
Prometheus.
didn't like-
Oh, dude.
I not like
Dude,
Dude,
Prometheus.
oh my god.
This is Shakespeare compared to those movies.
As a fucking Alien fan, I have suffered for so long.
It is. We have.
It's
dug
crazy.
through the
It's crazy
trenches.
because when this movie came out, people went and saw the other spin-offs, and like people changed their perception of those. They're like, these are peak now. And I'm like, where
Yeah.
did that come from? Oh, it always
Prometheus is garbage. Prometheus is and always will be garbage. But Ian,
That
you get
grew
2
on me
picks.
after about 4 watches.
I knew it. I knew it was coming.
It grew on me.
All right.
Grew on you.
All right, Ian.
All right. I had to choose this one. Like this, we're getting towards the end, and I want to get more serious films, but honestly, I can't leave this one out, and I don't want to leave the next one out. I'm going with Fall Guy. I loved this movie.
Not a bad pick. Not a bad pick.
It's like I remember watching this, and I was like, "Well, this just scratches every itch in my brain." Like, I mean, it's romance, action, it's funny as hell, and I love Ryan Gosling. Emily Blunt's amazing in it. Like, it's just so damn good. I can't say anything. I don't know. It's simplistic, It's boy meets girl. They move away, and then they blow shit up and fall in love again.
Blow shit up.
You know what my favorite part about this
They
movie
blow
was?
shit up, yeah.
This movie brings back the trope of like showing behind the scenes stuff in the credits. Like
Yes.
how
Yes.
Rush Hour like style where it shows like bloopers and then doing stunts in the back and behind the scenes. And I'm like, I love
We need
that.
more of that in movies.
Yes.
We need more of
Yeah.
I
that.
feel like that's
completely
yeah, that's what I want to see. These guys having fun and like especially
Well, I mean,
these kind of movies. Yeah.
I think I texted this to Nick. I think this movie opened up this, and then when John Wick last year, action movies really do get like just shit
Yes.
on by like awards
Yes.
and everything because like so much time and like efforts put into like making these real stunts and doing all this, but they don't get any love, and I hate it. Probably won't change, but like I think I put that in my review. Like, dang, I wish action movies got awards because this could win,
Mhm.
Yeah.
win something. The karaoke scene also was fucking
Yeah,
good.
that was
Oh,
fun.
dude,
I
it's
love
so
any,
good.
I love any like action scene mixed up with music. It just scratches
Yeah.
an itch in my brain. Well, that's great. Well, it is back to me. And Jamar, earlier I said that those two were like in the top 3 of my favorite animated movies of this year. And my first one, I could wait a little bit because the only other person that saw this was Mike. But this one is definitely my favorite animated movie of the year. And like I freaking loved it. It's inspiring. It's beautiful. It's super short, but I'm taking Look Back.
Yeah.
Look Back is
I know that was.
so good. Like I cannot describe to you of just like anyone who is in any kind of creative field or just a creative person and likes making stuff. Like this is such a like eye-opening and inspiring movie to watch. Just very brief. It's loosely based off the female manga artist who did Chainsaw Man. It's not a biograph. It is fiction, but like the characters are based off like aspects of her personality. It's just her journey as a creator, and it's beautiful and stunning, and it just oh my gosh, it just hits in so many ways. It's one of the few movies this year that got me like super emotional. And honestly, the only reason I saw this is because a coworker of mine was like, "Hey, I'm not doing anything, but I really want to see Look Back. Do you want to come and like hang out with like me and some friends?" I was like, "Sure, why not? It'll be another point in the Knicks score." And I walked out of that theater like, I feel like a changed man. I fell in love.
Dude, I
so
I
good.
saw this on TikTok and I was like, okay, I'll watch it. Man, last week I was like, holy fucking shit. I was like, dude, I want to watch it for the first time all over again.
I know, dude.
Like, it was so good.
Everyone in this chat, go watch that movie. It's so good. I think it's the only movie. I actually went back on my score. I think it's the only movie that I gave a 5 stars this year. I might change Late Night with the Devil. I might give Late Night with the Devil 5. But Look Back right now is the only thing with 5 stars for me.
I think I'll look at it.
It's
It's good. Yeah. It's so good. I highly recommend it.
Yeah. Okay. But Jamar, we're back to you now.
All right, I'm actually taking a movie that this pick and my last pick have the same lead. He is the same lead in both these movies.
Okay.
I think only me and Nick saw this movie. I don't know if anyone else has, unless they haven't logged it. But I will be taking Saturday Night.
Oh yeah, I missed this one. I didn't see it.
That
I didn't see it.
that was what I wanted to see, but never got around to.
I feel
Yeah,
like
I
so
remember
many
I was
of
looking.
us-
I was looking at it. I really love those trailers, like because the trailer when I first saw it was kind of like suspenseful. Like it was a countdown. I was like, oh fuck yeah! Like a movie that has a certain amount of time to it was awesome. So I was like, all right. And then I think Nick saw it before me. It was like it's good to see. Like it's just cool to see like the inner workings of SNL, like as we know it now. And then if you go back and look at the skits, because they're still online, being like, oh shit, I saw them do this and where the idea came from. It's awesome. And it's like so sporadic and all over the place. And like there's so much that gets cut in all this. And like the inner theater kid that most of us is, it's like this is great. Like this is stuff that we could have ate up if we did when we were in school. And it's just cool to see like the roots of what Saturday Night is.
Jason Reitman finally made a good movie. It happened.
I didn't
It's a
realize you were
long
such a
time
Jason
coming.
Wright hater. Where does this come from?
Yeah, he's mid. Okay, good pick, Jamar.
Wow,
Mid.
man.
No, movie's good. No, movie is good.
Movies. I think
Director mid.
I think it was just me and Nick that watched. But I think this needs to be added to the list because it's a nice easy watch. Like legit, it just takes place within an
This
hour
will
and a half.
definitely be like. This will definitely be like. Once this comes to streaming, I'll watch this because I need to catch up on. There's some big hits that I missed this year.
Yeah, dude, I miss
Coming out of
Gladiator.
The
Jason
cameos in
Reitman
this
does
movie.
have one other good movie.
What are you gonna say, Juno?
No, Up in the Air.
Up in the Air. Oh, I actually never saw Up in the Air.
Do you
It's
not
great.
Like, do you not like
Okay.
Juno either?
No,
What's
I
his
like
name?
Juno. It's
Gabrielle. Is it Gabrielle LaBelle? Is that how you say his name?
Yeah, LaBelle, who's also in.
It's so crazy
you got
because in
two
Snack Shack, in Snack Shack, he's a teenager. In this movie, this motherfucker has
Yeah.
a full-on beard and is playing Lorne
Supposed
Michaels.
to be like
I'm
35 in this
yeah,
movie.
and like when I see him in interviews and stuff, I'm like, I still can't get out of my head that this is the kid from Snack
Well,
Shack.
literally,
this is a child.
Literally, like 2 years ago, he was the lead role in The Fablemans, and he played the same character from like 11 years old to like 20.
yeah, like this dude is like a like he can be any age. It's so wild. Like he looks bizarre with a full beard.
So space lasers,
See?
man.
All right,
Space
Big
lasers.
Zeke.
What are you gonna take, Zeke?
Say it with me.
Nosferatu.
What a wonderful day!
What a
What?
I didn't even hear what he said.
I forgot the movie came out.
That is also like, for some reason, a very like forgotten movie, but it's
That movie
There
is so
goes my pick.
wild. That movie is so crazy and wild. Like after the fact,
What
it's so
a
crazy.
wonderful day!
I'm actually really surprised that Ian didn't take that. That feels like an Ian type of movie.
That was gonna be my last pick.
Ian.
That movie kind of is like slept on now because like the only thing I thought about it was like they build up what is his Proximus? They build up Proximus a
Yeah.
little bit in the trailer, and obviously you get his best scene, and then boom,
Mhm.
that's really it. Like,
Gone.
It's iconic though, but it's iconic.
Yoink.
Oh my lord!
I had no
Yeah, I
idea
think
what movie you were talking about.
What a
I didn't
wonderful
want to tell you. I
day.
wanted it to be a surprise.
It also hits because like there is so much deep lore to the Planet of the Apes franchise and all this shit.
Caesar.
That
Right?
All right, buddy, calm down.
Bad person.
What is going on?
James Franco turned out to be. Okay, the undesirable human being James Franco turned out to be. I have loved every, I guess you say, modern Planet of the Apes franchise or movie
Yeah.
that's come out. But dude, I love them all. They're awesome.
Yeah,
I just say it.
what's up?
The original is the best one.
That
1968.
is not true.
They perfected it.
War for the Planet of the Apes is so insane.
That's a take. That's a take, Nick.
The first one
Not
is a
saying the-
masterpiece.
It's
It's not
not-
saying it's
it's
like
good.
from Django. I'm not saying the first one's not bad. It could have been a little better.
Mike nodded his head. Mike nodded his head.
Mike agrees.
Maniacs.
I feel like it's a.
You.
No,
I think
it's good.
Nick's real deal gonna lose his shit when they tie it into the very first movie. Nick's gonna lose
Oh,
it.
it's gonna get tied
they,
in.
They totally should.
It
I
totally
think
is going.
that's
It totally
what's
is
gonna
going
happen.
to.
Yeah, I think it will.
No, I like the direction this is going in.
Yeah.
They
The
gotta
only thing
go
that
full
made it-
circle. I think that's what
The only
they're
thing
gonna
that I wasn't a fan of, because like it's so weird when you do like these movies, like when Star Wars immediately skipped to another time period. You're like, fuck,
Mhm.
what happened in this time that I missed? So in this one, so much shit is different, but there's still a huge human population.
Mhm.
And it's a very active
Yeah.
group in the
I'm
movie.
actually,
and
I'm
it's like,
really
where
curious.
where
what
all
the
this
next-
come from?
I'm super curious about the next one. I'm definitely like, I really want to know what
Yeah.
happens next or what they're doing with this franchise. So I will be seated.
Equally curious to see what Mike is gonna take.
Yes, Mike. What's up?
I know what Mike's thinking.
Actually hadn't decided yet. I already know what my last pick is going to be, but I'm not
I know
going to
for
take
sure.
it
Mike,
I know
real
for
quick,
sure,
out of
Mike.
curiosity, were you ever going to take Look Back? Because you were the only person I think like Mike might take this.
here. I was going to save it for the last round if I was,
Okay.
but I figured you'd probably take
Mike's
it
taking a
before
movie
me.
that starts with
All
an
right,
E.
Mike. Take
Starts
Venom.
with an E.
Say Venom.
Take Venom.
do.
Mike's taking a movie that starts with an E and it's 4 words. 4 words.
An E.
Oh, I'm not. I wasn't going to take that with my last pick, but since I will go, if I do take it, I will go 4 for 4 and actually get my top 4 movies of the year if I take this here. So I will take Evil Does Not Exist.
I thought that was for sure on your big board. I'm like, I know that's a for sure Mike picks. You love that movie.
Wow, I'm kind of
I
surprised
was
you
going
didn't
to
take
take it.
Lift,
I was going
Mike.
to take it fifth, but I'm going to take a surprise at 5 that I know only one person in here has seen. So I'm going to take Evil Does Not Exist at 4.
Alright.
I've been excited for this since I first found out about it. Directed by Ryusuke Hamaguchi, who did Drive My Car, which can be a slog to get through considering it's 3 hours long.
So
But-
good though.
It's incredible, and this one is not nearly. It's only an hour and 40 minutes. It's not nearly as long, but the way it's shot and the way the story is told. And I said this in my review. Things like chopping wood, like prepare a fire, are made interesting. The score's incredible. Camera work is great. And I mean, the ending is so up in the air, you don't really know what to think. Like I literally walked out of the theater and didn't even know what I saw at the end. Like I still don't even really know what the ending of the movie means. And I'm not going to go into details or anything, but it's great. I mean, it's not. I like Drive My Car more, but also has another hour and a half to tell the story than this
Yeah.
one does. But this doesn't have to be that. It's so minimalist compared to it and what it's trying to do. It's such a basic story. And there's 2 characters in this movie that just seem like side characters, and they're actually kind of introduced as antagonists in a way, but they're not bad people. And more or less, they became my favorite characters in the movie. As,
Mike,
as
did you watch
they
this
got
in,
more.
Mike, did you watch this in theaters?
Yes.
Yeah. I literally was never even a chance to watch it.
That scene where they're driving in the car, Mike, it lasts so long. Like it's so good though. Like that's such a good
Yeah.
scene, and it has nothing to do
It's-
with the story, although it does with the theme. Pretty cool.
Yes. It's just such a. It's so needed, but it's not.
Mhm.
Doesn't have to be there, but I think that scene more or less is what really sold me on those characters. And
Yeah.
there's not a very big cast in this movie, but that benefits it because you really feel like you know a lot about these characters by the time it gets to the end.
And they're not
And-
professional actors.
No,
It's so whack because this movie was on my list for a while, and then I literally could never watch it.
Sucks to
yeah,
suck.
it was not very wide release. I actually saw it on the last day that it was at the Kentucky Theater here because I hadn't had a chance to go see it, and I saw it on the last day that it was showing here.
All right.
All right. Well,
Caden.
All right, Cade, take Bad Boys.
I knew it was coming. Bad boys. Messy with the messy with the tizzle.
Dude, I forgot that was this year. I don't know why I thought Bad Boys was last year.
Bad boys.
Boys?
Bad
See, I
Boys?
would, if I didn't really want this poster, I would take that. But I'm
You're
thinking
just gonna get the
for
Bad Boys
Q2.
poster anyway.
Not getting the poster anyway. Blood.
So I got 3 movies I really want.
We have 2 picks.
I know. Well, I was gonna go with one of the best Netflix movies ever, which was Time Cut. But
All right, so we're just lying out our teeth now.
I'm
Fun
going
fact,
to
me and
go-
Nick what turned on that movie and could not watch it.
I turned it off.
I'm going to
It's
go with
terrible.
a late edition. It was in theaters, not in Bowling Green, so I had to wait for it to drop on HBO Max. I'm going to go with Journey 2.
Oh yeah. That's
Oh,
fine.
hey, there you go.
Yeah.
Wait, what'd you take?
You know what? Juror number 2.
Oh,
Pretty
that,
good.
that
Actual
was a good movie.
Wow.
I won't lie, that was a good movie.
That what a
No.
surprise pick from Caden. I don't think any of us was about to guess that.
No, I knew he liked that movie, but I thought he's still for sure going to take Bad Boys. But
You know, I
Bad
thought he
Boys.
was going to take Rebel Ridge. Hashtag that's my Green Lantern. But
That was
hashtag
going
Green
to be
Lantern.
my
But
last
that's
pick.
literally in my review that he should be Green Lantern. Isn't that wild?
hashtag that's my Green Lantern.
He's not dark enough.
That was going to be my last
What?
pick, but I changed my mind. But yeah, Journey number 2. I love the battle of morality, and I love courtroom drama, and that was there were a few plot
Oh, I need to
holes
write-
that
I
I
need to
could
write
point
down.
out.
How did,
But
hold on. How you like that? A movie about that, but you hated The Conclave.
He didn't
Because there
watch
wasn't
Conway.
fast cars, all right? And it wasn't about family.
Was
At least juror number 2 is about family.
I thought, I loved battle of morality, so that was really cool. Enjoyed the movie a lot, and yeah, my last pick. Oh man, I can't.
It's
I'm
not your
struggling.
turn.
I really,
Say, yeah.
Buddy, we all know it's going to be red one. Stop hyping it up.
also,
Caden,
listen,
man.
I
I was
don't
gonna
think
do it.
I don't. To be
Our
fair, I don't think
grandparents
Nick's
loved Red
taking
One.
whatever Caden's last one is.
No, Nick's
Nick-
not. That's what I'm not worried about.
Yeah,
so
Nick,
it's okay.
go
You
ahead,
have
man.
absolutely nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
I think I know
My
Nick's
next
last pick.
pick.
Nick's taking tarot here.
I think I know what it is.
My next pick is A Different Man.
Oh yeah.
Has anyone seen that movie yet?
Sebastian
No.
Stan.
Yeah. Actually.
Yeah, Sebastian Stan. Actually, he won the Golden Globe for it.
I need to watch that now. Like once everyone said he won that, and everyone said this was like amazing.
I thought him and Apprentice is awesome though.
He was good in that, but he did win. I think he's better in this. I don't even know how to describe this movie. He's deformed. His face is deformed. He gets it fixed, and then he turns out that he, I don't know, he's always miserable, and it had nothing to do with the fact that he was deformed. And then the woman who he loved, turns out she kind of has a kink for the face that he used to have. And this guy who has the same facial deformity, who's hilarious, basically takes the role in a play she wrote about this guy, and takes the woman as well. And it's very dark humor. It's hilarious, but it's also like just incredibly depressing. It's very good. Like it really is quite good. For my entire life, not my entire life, but I have been hating on Sebastian Stan because like my only exposure to him was Bucky, which is like pretty much the most uninteresting character in the MCU. But he really came out of his shell this year.
I think the way the MCU does Bucky, it kind of does make him a little boring.
Yes,
Tell me
he's a good
more
character.
about
Am I the
it.
one
We
person
get
that
him-
likes Bucky in the MCU?
Listen,
Is-
listen, because we get him in the first movie, he goes missing. So then we get him in Winter Soldier,
He's
which is
charming in the
awesome.
fir- you have him
It-
like half the movie.
I know, but
And
then we
he's
get him
great
in.
in
We get him in
Winter
Winter
Soldier.
Soldier. He turns a little bit in Winter Soldier, and then he's cooked. Then he turns again in Civil War. Then he's good.
He's
then
turned in Civil War, but no one believes he is yet.
But he's evil. But like they did the evil trope twice already. Like, oh shit, he's back to being the Winter Soldier again. I'm like, come on. But he's so
Okay.
interesting
Like the
in
first time
the
you
books.
whatever.
all
I'm
this.
not gonna get to it.
I'm not saying he's
should've
not
known Nick was
bad.
more-
I just know Just know the way they do it.
I really like Bucky in it, and I like his character, especially in Civil War. But that's a different podcast. That's a different thing.
Nick hates Nick. You know Nick doesn't like Civil War.
I know
I should
because
have
he's
known,
wrong.
Nick.
I
should have known.
do like the movie.
I thought you didn't like that one, but you liked Winter Soldier. Or is it
I
backwards?
like Winter Soldier a lot. I think that Civil War is a pretty good movie, but it's vastly overrated. But we can talk about that later.
Oh, God.
Talk about that one.
Anyway, let's not do this debate right now. Let's not do this debate.
Sick
Right
of
now.
Nicholas.
Yeah.
I forgot Nicholas loves Star Fox and Harry Styles, right? Yeah. Totally.
Hey Nick, what's your last pick? What's your last pick? Because this debate will go on for too long. I know it
Well,
will.
because Caden, completely changes everything I say and makes it into his
What's
own.
your last
Most
pick, buddy?
uninteresting character.
Yeah.
That's the
We'll
real
talk about
Trump
this.
for Caden. That's the Trump.
Yeah,
for
because
Caden.
Caden is Donald Trump. My last pick is I Saw the TV Glow, which
Knew it.
Oh,
Zeke has
Knew it.
banger. That's
Knew
a
it.
banger of a movie.
It's really good.
Yeah, Ian, I'm sure you liked it. We got a brief cameo from our queen.
Dude, I know. Phoebe, bro. Phoebe.
What was she doing in that movie?
I don't know, but I was glad she was in it, man. That's the whole reason I watched the
Me too.
damn movie.
Oh, and that scene was so wacky. This movie is good. It kind of is like Dee Dee in that I just really felt completely just completely in this era. And it reminds me, I mean, all of you guys had TV shows that you loved when you were a kid and how amazing they seem. But whenever you watch them when you're a little older, you're like, oh my gosh, this is so crap.
Mhm.
And I think that a lot of that is about the movie, but also it has a lot to do, and it says a lot about being trans and stuff like that. So I thought it was a pretty cool narrative in that regard as well. Some good themes. It did not get properly distributed, so probably
not at
very
all.
few people saw this movie in theaters. I'm glad I did. It was really fun.
Nick, do you
It
think
was
this
a
is
good
the
movie.
best thing that Justin Smith is in?
The black guy.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I was not
Yeah.
totally Justice Smith. I've not been sold
Magical
on him.
Negro. Magical
I didn't
Negroes.
think
Yeah,
he was
you know.
that great.
Yeah,
I just
the guy
Detective
from
Pikachu?
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, Pikachu and Magical Negroes.
honestly, that's how I
And
found out about
Dungeons
this
and
through Dungeons and Dragons, which is a great movie by
That
the way.
movie.
That movie's
Slap.
awesome. That movie's awesome.
I think in I Saw the TV Go, he kind of just he plays a character. He's always the same guy. And I feel like
Yeah.
they tried to break that in this, but I don't know if he can really break free of that
No, he
trope
can't.
where he's the dorky, kind of goofy and kind of sad guy.
He's just one of those actors who I'm just like, I haven't seen him in that many.
He
good
literally
things.
is the
Maybe I need to
same
watch
person.
some, this will change my mind about him, but I'm just like, he's there. He's
Yeah.
the same guy, and sometimes that
Also,
works.
Caden, I totally know what you're taking here. You're not secretive.
Yeah, let's hear it, Caden.
You know what I'm taking?
Good boys.
Tell me.
Yeah. Directed by Zoe Kravitz.
that was a good guess because I thought about it. I really enjoyed that movie. He's talking about Blink Twice. I really enjoyed that movie.
No, you wouldn't.
No, actually, yeah.
Megamind.
Oh God.
That's Jamar's pick.
That's Nick. Me and Nick watched it together, by the
Yeah.
way. No, Nick watched it before me, then I watched it.
I had a really trouble picking this last one because I really wanted to do Rebel Ridge. That's such a great movie. It's one of Netflix's best movies. It's I think
I
it's
don't know why you don't take it.
But I'm not taking that. I'm taking something that I really enjoyed in the theater that I knew I was going to enjoy because I love watching her. First off, okay, and she killed it in Agatha, and she's been on a roll lately. So I'm going to
Mild Ass.
take Mild Ass.
That's a good.
Good pick.
I could hear hear the heavy breathing through the mic now.
That's a good one. That
I
is
really
that's a
enjoyed
good
that.
movie.
That's a good one.
That's
It's a really good movie.
good one. Wow,
I remember
Sweet
I
to the
had
point.
had it on my list before it had a poster or anything.
There we go.
I don't know what I was expecting the movie to be, but when it came out was not at all what I expected, but it was still good.
I like introspective stuff. I like that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
Some guy posted a review. He said you could tell. He said they ran out of the Aubrey Plaza budget because it is a little weird. Like
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah,
a lot of the
she's just
times when
gone,
he's in that
or
movie,
just-
she's just on the phone. She's just on the phone. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's so interesting when she's there. So we only
Have
Yeah, it is, like, her point
you
in the
seen
movie.
her in White Lotus 2 or season 2?
Yes, I love.
It's
White
good.
Lotus.
She's so good. White Lotus is good too, but like
It's coming back. It's coming back.
she's a
soon. I think
phenomenal
And
actor.
Aubrey Plaza's watching. We're with you.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was either that or Madam Web. One of those two. I was trying to think. But
Oh, you should have taken Madam Web.
Probably would have
Movies
got
are
you.
bad.
one.
But you know what? Me and Kane got out the theater. Kane said that wasn't that bad.
What the heck?
it's better than
Yeah.
Morbius,
What,
and I will
what
die on that hill.
about
It's better than
what about
Morbius.
No, it is
Steve
not.
Parker?
No, it is not.
It is better. It is better than Morbius. I don't care what nobody says.
You thought
Morbius
Madam
is
Web is
terrible.
better?
Morbi-
than
Morbius
Jamar's gonna
has
take
at least
a complete unknown.
You
audio
think
balance.
you think I'm the problem? That's the problem. And she points to the ceiling. I was like, oh my.
Bro, the main villain's audio
think it has
dub
something
isn't
to do with
synced up
Spider-Man.
correctly. Like,
Brother.
The best part
So
for me
bad.
and Kanan watch it together, and I'm in the beginning of the movie when they're in the Amazon hunting spiders, researching spiders. I'm like, Caden, the dude's mouth literally isn't moving. He's speaking like
I
this.
never noticed
ter-
that.
it's terrible.
In the very
It's
beginning,
really
bro,
bad.
he's speaking like this.
Oh,
Hey,
Craven.
bro.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my god.
Jamar, do me a favor. Just like move your mouse up and down,
Look.
and this is what they are hunting spiders in the jungle. We better go stop them. And that's what it was like.
Then
If you look
he
at
pulls out
Jamar's
the
screen the whole
umbrella. He
time.
pulls out the umbrella, and the lines that he's saying has no reason for him to pull out the umbrella.
It's so fucking bad.
And then he
Okay.
shoots that woman.
And they just shoots her. Okay, see.
Dog shit.
Well, see, clearly you're
dude.
taking Madam Web now because it's the greatest thing
They
ever.
they
Oh, wait, no,
treated
Mike.
Peter
I'm sorry.
Parker
Mike's the next
like
one.
he was,
Excuse me. I'm sorry, Mike. Mike is
Yeah, they made Peter Parker like he was Jesus. You can't say that name.
They treated that man like the guy from Harry Potter. I'm really blanking on what his name is right now.
Voldemort.
No,
Yes.
Harry Potter.
They treated Peter Parker like Voldemort. You can't say his name. You can't allude to that's who it is, or the world's gonna end.
Literally, they think
It's a Spider-Man movie, but look, Peter Parker. We don't know who that is. Doctor
Exactly.
Strange's spell. It reached the Sony universe. Who's Peter Parker?
Okay. Mike, what is your last pick?
I don't know where Nick went, but this my last pick was one that I believe only Nick and I saw. Nick saw before I did and recommended it to me. This was one that I knew nothing about until he told me about it. But I'm a huge fan of British culture. It's not necessarily British. I mean, this is Ireland, but I'm going to take Kneecap,
Yeah.
What is it?
Mm. Kneecap.
Sure. Okay. I've not heard about that one.
Yeah, I actually don't know about this one either.
which
It's so good.
It's a
which
kind of a
is a
banger.
movie. The actors or the main character of this movie are actually played by the 3 real members of the music group who I had never even heard of. They make rap music, but it's in the Irish language. And it's the first movie I'd ever seen that was in Irish, which obviously there's not a very big movie demographic with that as the main language, but this is an exciting movie. I mean, it really grips you in. It's very, very unique because you never see, like, how many movies have you seen where the real people play themselves and actually do a really good job? Like, if I hadn't looked it up,
The Robbie Williams
What?
movie.
Oh,
The people in Sing Sing play themselves. Pretty cool.
You said the Robbie Williams movie.
Continue, Mike.
but it's rare to see a movie done with real people playing themselves and where they actually feel like real actors. And had I not looked it up, I probably wouldn't have even known that it was actually them. And it really helps because, like, obviously nobody really knows who these people are, especially not in the United States. So
Oh, Michael
Like I said,
Fassbender's in that movie.
yeah, he plays their dad. One of
Okay,
their
what the
dads.
heck?
You're my dad. Woogie, woogie, woogie.
I'll watch anything.
Mike,
I'll watch anything with Michael Fassbender in it too. So
Mike,
that was
Oh,
also
Wait, is Mike a Prometheus fan then?
Oh God.
Oh, don't.
Look, unpopular
Oh
opinion.
yeah, man.
I have come around to like Prometheus.
Y'all
As an
Yeah.
are crazy. Everyone here is crazy.
Thank
As
you,
an
Zeke.
adult, I have come around to liking Prometheus.
Everyone is
Thank
crazy.
you. It takes a few watches. It takes a few watches
Yeah,
to
and-
really start getting
Yeah,
it.
and
It
a
does
dose
take
of
a few
heroin
watches.
addict. You gotta melt your brain to
That's
enjoy
been
that
your,
movie.
Mike. Now that you say that, I can't. Michael
Look,
Fassbender,
don't ask me why the
outside of a
spoons
few
are hot.
things,
Just
he
eat
hasn't
your
been
damn
in a whole
cereal.
lot.
Yeah. I mean, he's a great actor, and he's not really in this that much. But the scenes that he is in, he's very good. And
I mean, I guess he was in the
I got the-
Killer, but that man needs another fucking.
Oh,
Iron
was
Man.
that a 24 movie? That was not a 24
Nah,
movie, was it?
23.
Damn.
Jamar, he's gonna be in a movie in 2 months. Black
Michael
Bag.
Fassbender. Okay.
Uh-huh.
That man, I was like, that man needs to get the Willem Dafoe agent. Willem Dafoe is in fucking everything,
Hey, and
Alright,
he's
well, he's
amazing in
good.
everything.
He's good.
except for Kinds of Kindness. It freaked me out.
Hey,
Did
man.
anyone,
Alright.
did anyone
Look,
else
that's
watch
no-
that
no,
movie?
Nothing will beat his Beetlejuice performance.
I loved him in Beetlejuice. I love that shit.
Yeah, give me a coffee.
I easy
Zeke,
Kyle.
what are you gonna do?
All right, yeah, Zeke, big pick here, big last pick.
So this is the final pick.
This is your final pick, yes.
All right, so I got to hit the horror demographic since I had Late Night with the Devil and Alien taken from me.
And the substance.
You're welcome.
Trust me, I'm
Well,
always
I
the
didn't
hero for the
see
horror group.
substance, though. So to hit the horror note, we're gonna go with Speak No Evil.
Oh man.
Okay.
You did
Good
not know
movie.
that. Why are you acting like you knew that?
I said speak no evil. I said it.
That's such a cat.
Buddy,
because
we'll
I
come
thought
to
Zeke was for
Lexington and
sure-
we'll
I
jump.
thought Zeke was for sure gonna go long legs.
I also thought he was.
I
I,
wanted
thought he was
to,
referencing Long Legs
but-
too. I thought, but Speak No Evil's great. Speak No Evil was good.
Is anyone planning on taking long legs? Because I have a crazy take about that movie.
Both, but it really was. It was a toss up really between Spaceman and Speak No Evil. I'll be honest.
Okay.
If I had a sixth pick, I probably would have taken
Yeah,
Spaceman.
I actually did think this was going to be 7 rounds like it was last year, so I was about to pull some
Ooh,
some
man, that's
shit
long.
out of my.
Yeah,
pull
I was
some
like-
shit out of my ass.
I was preparing to pull some random stuff for 6 and 7.
That's why I watched so many because last year we did 7 rounds and I was
Yeah.
like,
Well, we
sporadic.
added 2 people this time.
"That's true. If we did 7, it would be
This
year
we've been
rounds."
going on till like 1 in the morning. So.
Oh, it's me.
Yeah, it is you. That's why I don't know why you're asking. Like, who's
Where's
like
Nicholas
who's taking what? You're taking the next.
All right,
thing.
Jammer, let's go.
Where's Nicholas? Where's Nicholas at? Because
I bet he's walking the dog.
Nicholas for 1,000% knows what this movie is because this is my favorite movie of the year. Everyone else ended up watching it after the fact, but oh my god!
All right, here we go.
I don't get emotional over movies, but when I watch We Grown Now for the first time, it meant something to me because it was. It's just something about that story of having 2 kids grow up in like just project housing and just making it out or just surviving, and that it was just something. It was beautiful, and then it got added to Netflix after the fact. So I was like, all right, more people were talking about it, and it's still kind of really under the radar. And I think it came out in theaters for like 2 weeks early in the year, so obviously I couldn't watch it then. But that's the only movie I gave 5 stars and the heart to on Letterboxd all year.
This is your version. This is your version of Look Back for me because that's the only movie.
Yeah, I mean that
remember.
movie. I think that movie is like so phenomenal. I remember Nick said like when I texted Nick about it. Nick's like, well, I don't know. Nick didn't know how to rate it because obviously if I think it's this high, Nick's not gonna have it that high. Like it can't hit those expectations for everyone else. But it was just one of those things. Like, oh man, I watch the ending of it like all the time now. It's on Netflix, and the ending
no,
makes
it
me
is.
so
It's fine.
emotional.
Yeah.
It makes me so emotional. We Grown Now. Yeah, it's 2024.
No, when I looked it up because I'm doing the scores.
It's
said
a weird.
2023, and I
It's
was
one of
like,
those weird. It's one of those weird ones. It's a super weird one.
Yeah, but no, a U.S. release day is April of this year, so it's fine.
And
It's
it
good.
it
You're
literally
good.
came out for like a week or 2 weeks, and it was bullshit. But man, fell in love when
No,
I
I
first
can
time
see
I
that.
watched
That's
that
good.
movie. It's a pretty good like little feel good story of these like because when you get a lot of child actors who try to do like big roles, they're not like really good child actors, but both of them in this movie, it's their first acting roles, and it's phenomenal. And it's like these kids are like pros in this movie, and it's like I don't know. For me, it hit different because it's just this kid and his mom and his sister, and obviously I grew up with just me, my mom, and my sister. So I'm like, this is like me, younger me, growing up. So it's awesome. It's great.
I love it. Shoot, it's me now. I also have like a lot of things I could pick, and I could cheat and just pick the one that I know has the higher score, but I'm not gonna do that. I think
Twisters.
Twist. I do want to say for the
Tuco.
record, I don't actually hate that movie, but the fact that you guys got onto me about not liking it as much made me double down.
It was so fun. It's so funny.
I
In Drew's
know.
review, said, "I wasn't going to give this a better score until everyone mentioned it."
So it lowered the score.
But Drew stuck up for us, so I respect it. Drew stood on
Out
it,
of
said,
spite,
"Yeah,
gave it a bad
Out
rating.
of spite,
out of
At least
spite."
he
Yeah, fuck
stood
that.
on business.
I respect it. I respect it.
Oh, that's great. No, I think I will take. I'll take another A24 movie because this movie is really good, and I kind of forgot about it for a while.
Don't you do it.
Love Lies Bleeding is.
Oh man.
I don't think the one.
Smash.
An interesting one. Full
Yeah.
smash.
Oh,
Look, nothing.
Where is it? Christian Stewart? Is
Yeah.
that who it is? He is so hot in that movie. I don't know what it is. but
Death
he is
by
kinda hot in that
Snoop
movie.
Dogg.
that, bro, that
Nothing-
that ending had me feeling a different kind of way, man. Oh, my
Nothing will
goodness.
beat when she injects the roids and then like turns into a Power Rangers villain
Yeah,
at the end
dude,
of the movie.
like starts like Hulk.
Rita
Grows
Repulsa.
like 4 times.
Rita
bro.
Repulsa
It
makes her
looks
grow.
so, it's so
Oh
cool
my
because like
God.
the rest of that movie is very grounded and very realistic and very like a human drama.
Yeah,
and
and
then
like
it's-
it has its commentary on like drug abuse and
Yeah.
like steroid abuse like in the 80s 90s, but then it just goes weird and turns into an MCU movie at the end.
Yes.
I mean, I
She
think
injected
the
them
ending's
Pym
more
particles.
like metaphorical than that.
Wait, Nick, didn't you say you liked the ending, Nick?
I like the whole movie. I don't know how much the ending worked for me. Still don't, which is great. Which is why I like Rose Glass.
It didn't-
I
it
think
didn't
it's
I
work for
really
me
like
either,
the ending.
Nick.
I don't know.
It was just
didn't
one.
work for
It was
me.
just one of those like had it been literally anything else on the drawing board. it'd be
Yeah.
fine. Literally any
real.
other
That's-
idea. They could have even like just blacked the movie out and then skipped to the ending of them driving in the car. That'd been fine. It could have
That's
been
the real
anything.
She-Hulk
I kinda-
origin story.
Honestly, to be
Oh my
A24
God.
She-Hulk,
Your
baby.
jokes aside, she probably would be an amazing She-Hulk. But I like the ending. I like that it gets weird. I like that it's kind of almost like metaphorical. I have my interpretations of it. I get why it wouldn't work for people. That is kind of why, like I said, it was in the very end. And there were a bunch of other movies that could have been here, but I'm just kind of looking through the list and like I don't have another like kind of like thriller, almost drama other than this. So this is the one that like I still remember.
Shout out Ed Harris. That's the GOAT villain. He's just one of those guys you just know he's a villain every movie.
Who?
Ed Harris, man.
Literally.
100%.
No, Kristen Stewart was so good in this. Like I don't know, it's just
Mhm.
she played like the greasy gym jock worker so well. Like it worked for me so well.
Yeah, I think there was no wasted character. I think every character was super well and didn't had the emotion.
Even the random Ed's girlfriend
yeah,
Yeah.
Bro,
with her thick
fuck
ass
that.
country
Oh,
accent.
and her busted ass teeth. Oh my gosh, I was so happy when she died. That bitch was
That
evil.
bitch off the screen.
Oh my god, thank the Lord. But I think that character you're supposed to hate. All right, anyway, Ian, the big pick. You're the big
All right.
pick of the draft.
All right. I just want to first say an honorable mention to Maxine. I loved Maxine.
Yeah.
I love the Pearl and X series, but
doesn't
I'm
hold
saving
up.
my last pick, especially since Love Lies Bleeding got stolen from me.
Oh,
For
really?
a real love of, and I think I'm the only one that saw it in theaters this year. It's fucked up. It's disgusting. It made multiple people walk out of the theater when I watched it. Terrifier 3. I had such
Oh boy,
Oh,
what a
wow.
I had such a fun time watching this. Like I mean the storyline is dog shit. I mean it's
All of them
completely
are.
off the rails.
But who
But,
watches
like-
those movies for the story?
Exactly. And like you go in, you know you're gonna get fucked up shit. Like you're gonna get fucked up shit.
It's
And-
one of those movies that I'm surprised like has 3 of them. Like it has multiples.
yeah. It's a
still
cult
going.
classic. This movie will be a cult classic because it's the best out of all of them. It'll be a cult classic. The kills are so creative. First 3 minutes, the kid gets chopped up into pieces, and you watch it all. Like it's.
Yes.
It had me.
Mike, the shower scene is ridiculous.
Oh my god, the shower scene's nuts.
This was the only
Literally.
movie that I was like, that Nick was like, you want to see this? I was like, I want to see this. You don't want to see. This is the only movie I told Nick do not watch.
I
no
saw
way Nick
this
would've
in a
watched this.
completely packed theater.
Oh,
Everyone was
boy.
like, oh, and I was like, this is awesome.
Jamar,
Nick, yeah.
who was it that sent us the video of them and they walked past the theater showing Terrifier and they knew it was the shower scene right away? Was that Mike?
Oh, it was Jamar that sent the video. It was the
It was
day
me.
after
I
sent.
I went and saw something like early in the day, and you just heard in the theater next door.
All
I was
right.
like, oh, there it is.
All right.
Man, they were just jingling.
That was a
His
terrible
balls were-
movie.
Another
Jingle
honorable
jangle.
mention. Another honorable
Yeah,
mention.
go ahead
It's
and read
what's
all
inside.
the
I thought
mentions
Nick-
while I kind of
I thought
put
Nick would
scores
for
in.
sure. I thought Nick would have just talked about it because I think the movie's dog shit. In a Violent Nature, I think that movie is so bad. But
That
Nick
movie
somehow
was
liked this.
So good.
I thought Nick was
Walking
going to take it and be
simulator.
divisive.
A
I
movie
thought it was
I'm
going to be
surprised-
divisive.
Okay. Really quick.
Yeah.
How is it that I give it a 5 out of 10 and I somehow like it, but I give Civil
thought
War
you-
a 7 and I hate it? What are we
I
doing
never
here
said
with
you
this
hated Civil
narrative?
War. I thought you actually told me you liked In a Violent Nature
I think it was a solid
because
movie.
I gave it like half a star or 1
Nick,
star.
I will say, I am surprised you didn't take Bike Riders, considering you're the one that put me onto it.
I also
I
am
also-
surprised no
I
one
thought-
took Bike Riders.
I thought Ian would take it, so I didn't take it.
The movie I'm
I
surprised
love that
no one took
movie.
Hitman.
Loved
I
it,
thought it was
but
one of the-
honestly, that was like if we had 2 more picks, I would have thrown that in there. It was on my list.
Me too.
Me,
Me
it was
too.
one of those movies that like
can't
it was
believe
it was there, like it started out here, but it never went anywhere else. And I was like, I'm waiting for it to be like it was good, not great.
Okay,
I
Drew,
I can't
what?
believe nobody took
Hitman.
Hitman.
Nick,
Oh,
I
no.
would- Nick,
Or
Nick
no one
texted
took
me- Nick
Monkey
texted me-
Man.
I
Monkey
fucking
Man.
never saw that movie somehow.
Yeah.
While I'm while Drew's tallying everything up, here's Colin's top 5: Unfrosted, Bosco,
Oh.
Roadhouse, Despicable Me 4, Longlegs, and then If
Like
at number
Roadhouse?
6.
Those were not my
Despicable Me
top 5.
4.
Those were not in
Those
any
are bangers.
specific order. What the heck? Those were not in a
You
specific
liked
order.
Roadhouse?
No, those were
my
his
top
sleepers.
4, Crisis on Infinite Earths 1, Crisis on Infinite Earths 2, Infinite Earths Part 3, Madam Web, and Atlas.
That's definitely Colin's list. Sounds like it. That's an
Nick,
Indiana fan
Nick.
for sure.
Nick, if we had one more round, I for sure was gonna take It's What's Inside.
Yeah, it's what's inside my honorable mention.
One more
Overall.
round, and it was mine. Cause I go back and forth on if I wanted it to be in theaters, but being able to pause it and like regroup, like, all right, this is what's going on, made it instantly more better. Like it is so good. I don't know,
Carry
Netflix-
On might have been Carry On
Netflix
might
hit
have been
last
my
year.
6th pick.
And Beekeeper, come on now, Beekeeper, honorable mention.
Hey, they're making Beekeeper 2 this year.
And I'm in there. We are in there. It's a working.
Hey, there is. I don't know if anyone saw it. There is I have it on my list. There was like a foreign version of Beekeeper, but like basically it is like someone gets scammed, and this family goes and finds the people that scammed them. I was gonna watch it, but never
And
was
shout
able
out
to keep up.
Reggie, Bad Boys for Life, baby. Shout out Reggie.
This man, Bad Boys.
Yeah.
Mike, this is a movie. This is a for sure you movie, Mike. It's called Citizen of a Kind. It's legit is Beekeeper minus like the Jason Statham like action crazy
Yeah.
shit.
And while we're here, while I have Nick break on the line, I don't care what you think about Captain America 4. I don't give a damn. Do not tell me your opinion. I
Here
do
we
not
go.
care. Don't tell me because you're gonna piss me
Listen,
off.
I'm
in
playing.
there,
I'm
no matter
listen.
what.
I'm defending Nicholas. Me and Nick all talk about this movie. We are not wishing for it to fail.
I
We
do
are
not
just
care
saying
what you
there's a
have to
That
lot of
movie's
stuff
gonna hit, though.
against it. There's a lot of stuff going against it, but Nick is not rooting against the movie.
I will
Gentlemen,
root
root against any movies.
Yeah, literally. Like I don't. Sometimes Nick can sound like a hater on the MCU, but he's not rooting against this movie. Listen, we all want the Black Captain America movie to be great. It just
I'm pro
there's
movie.
a lot of stuff going. There's a lot of stuff going against it, and I kind of hate that for it.
I can't wait till next year when we all fight for Fantastic Four in the first round.
That's Superman. That's the first pick.
all of you guys.
I
hope
can't wait till we all have to duke it out for Fantastic Four.
I hope Fantastic Four is
I'm
good.
taking-
I want a good
I'm taking
Fantastic
Marty
Four
Scream.
movie.
I think I'm actually gonna take Mario 2.
Yeah. It's gonna have more
Yeah,
plot.
next year.
Yeah, Nick wants more plot in it, so I don't
That
know.
Yoshi plot.
That's not coming out
Island in
next
this
year.
movie. We're gonna go to Paper
This
Mario
movie
World.
isn't stupid. You're stupid.
You
guys-
Mario 2 into the Mario verse.
You guys
It's a
should
bunch
do
of-
worst movie. Your worst
Oh,
movie.
our worst movie draft.
Oh, worst movie
We'd be
draft.
fighting for Madam Web.
Megalopolis.
Have
Right.
y'all ever
Megalopolis,
seen
it'd
The
be-
Deliverance?
It'd be
Dog
Megalopolis,
shit.
Madam Web, Craven,
Right.
Argyle.
Nah, Trap is
Hammer.
worse. Trap is way worse.
You remember
All the
okay,
time.
Whatever.
My
do you
trap
remember my
theory was
review
that
of
people
Megalopolis?
died.
I said I took a shit that was more enjoyable in that movie.
Megalopolis.
Are we not? Are we just
That's
forgetting
fine.
about Harold and the Purple Crown?
Who watched
That
it?
movie was awesome. What do you mean?
It is.
That
It is.
movie's great.
It's so bullshit that they put that man in a movie with like a mentally challenged kid. Because I hate Zachary Levi, but I want to watch the movie for the premise, but I can't do it because he's a
I actually liked
fucking
it.
moron.
You liked it?
Damn.
I think it's absurd in the
I
best
hate
ways
Zachary.
possible.
That man Zachary
Fuck it,
Levi. is
Weeball,
literally-
Megamind versus the
literally a-
Doom
he's literally
Syndicate.
a-
No, bro.
Sandy
You like
Cheek
it?
saved Bikini Bottom.
Sandy.
Worst movie of the year is Between the Temples. That shit is like Kanye West wrote the jokes.
Oh,
Y'all
God.
didn't
So,
watch
so it's a
the-
bunch of anti-Semitism.
It's
You know,
I didn't watch
Borderlands.
that shit.
Bro,
Borderlands.
Borderlands.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
make
Oh,
a
Borderlands, yeah.
let's make a
Fuck
movie
that
on
movie.
Borderlands 10 years late and combine Borderlands 1 and the prequel and 2.
Bro.
Just random shit, random bullshit.
Nick knows I was pissed off after Borderlands.
Right, Drew,
I
it's
was-
literally they combined random bullshit from the first movie and the second movie and
Oh,
said,
it's- I didn't give him
let's
Civil
put 50-year-old Kate Blanchett in this movie to play a 20-year-old bounty hunter.
Did not understand their
None of the
motives.
characters looked like how they were. I was.
No,
I
no,
was
and let's make Kevin Hart the brute who literally in the
Why
game is
was
like,
Kevin
he's
Hart
6'8".
even in the fucking movie?
He's literally 6'8" in the fucking game, and it's just like
They
let's
got
get
short
Kevin Hart.
man to play big man.
Yeah.
And they don't
It's
like
so
make a
stupid.
joke
Shit.
about it or like reference it. It's just Kevin Hart doing a bad Kevin Hart.
What's the girl? What's the Who's the girl with the bunny ears? What's her name?
Tiny Tina.
Tiny
Tina.
Tina?
Hey, Tina. Yeah, she's not even really in the first game like that.
No.
Like much
No,
of that
not at
story
all.
is not Borderlands 1. And I'm like when it was happening, I was like, what is
Okay.
Nick doing? I was like, what is the story going on?
Did you all ever watch Under Paris?
No.
Is that like
Oh,
about the
boy.
shark?
Yeah, you said it
or
was
something?
bad.
Yes, that's the shark. That movie was horrendous.
Jesus.
Most
The
Well,
dubbing in that movie was awful.
What about
Yeah,
Night
Night
Swim?
Swim.
disappointing movie
No one
here
took
is
Godzilla versus
Y2K.
Godzilla Kong. Oh, Y2K, bruh. Mike, there was a
I kind of forgot
Like, the
Godzilla
first-
vs.
the first
Kong came out
20
this year.
the first 20 minutes of Y2K is badass. And then at that party, I was vibing.
Mhm.
And then
Oh, I love the beginning.
it just doesn't make sense because like what it's marketed as, and then what happens, it's like, oh, boom, killer
So,
AI robots. Out
I was
of
gonna
nowhere.
say, is that the one about the robots that like kill everybody?
Yes, but and it's
Yeah.
the first like 20 minutes, 30 minutes is just like a normal standard, like, all right, this is a New Year's Y2K party, like what's gonna happen? And then it's out of nowhere, just random bullshit.
Boom! Then Skynet
Or
takes over.
I will say the one guy's death whenever the guy that owns the video store whenever he
Kyle
fights
Mooney's
the
character?
robot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was so
Why is
funny.
Nick upside
I
down?
was rolling.
Like the worst death in that movie is when they get out of the garage and he goes to
Oh, yeah.
skateboard
that
and then he fucking hits his head on the stump. I was like, oh my god. I was like, oh
That
my
was
god.
probably my
Yeah,
favorite part of the movie.
I was cackling.
That
I
was
was like,
so
what the-
funny.
no, the best part of the movie was the thong song at the party. I ate that shit up. It was so hard.
When the kid Leroy died, families were fed.
Oh boy, yes they were.
Yeah.
It's Leroy.
Families were fed. He's such a dumb moron in that movie too. Come on, we're leaving, bruh.
I would like to
Oh,
put
there
my
you
Get
go.
our Kellys.
most
It's
hated
sexy.
movie.
I gotta pee,
You know,
and I gotta
wait,
go
wait,
to
You can
bed.
go to the
Super
restroom.
big.
I'm halfway done. I'm doing Jamar's score right now. If that
I'm
tells
so eepy.
Halfway.
My worst
Wait, what'd
movie
you
is
say?
Whoa.
Matt, give me a
Oh.
minute. Calm down. Sorry, it's past
Drive
your
Away
bedtime.
Colin.
that movie sucked.
You know, Nick,
Oh,
I'm
I
also
kinda
surprised you
enjoyed
didn't take Lisa Frankenstein.
I did like Lisa Frankenstein.
Lisa
I thought it was
Frankenstein.
pretty good. I think Colin liked that movie.
I did.
kind of enjoyed Drive Away Dolls because it was just one of those like I saw the trailer for a while, but it was so like weird, and I was like, all right, how do we do this? And again, it was another Margaret Qualley movie. She's in fucking everything, and I was like,
The
all right,
dildo in the briefcase.
yeah. It did get a little weird when they started making the doodle moves at the end, but it's like, yeah,
Whatever they were trying to do with that movie, it did not work.
yeah, it kind of I don't know. It should have been a straight to streaming movie.
That was awful.
That movie was made by a very famous filmmaker too. I don't know if you've ever seen No Country for Old Men.
Yes.
I'm kind of surprised no one took Nosferatu.
It's the guy that did Oh Brother Where Art Thou, right?
Yeah, it's one of them. It's Ethan Coen.
Yeah.
Ryan loves that movie.
That movie's so good.
Joker 2. That's
Did
something
anyone-
we agree on.
Awful.
It's not that bad of a
Under-
movie.
It's overhated.
What?
People miss the point.
Joker 2's not that bad.
That wasn't
People
even the
missed
best
the
Joker
point.
movie me and Nick watched that day.
That's true. though.
What?
It's not that bad. It's really not.
I agree.
But I also don't think
Did
the
anyone-
first one's very good either.
It is because it's one of those like when Mike hates the first movie, so a lot of people, the people that like were like, why is the first movie even a thing? It's like the crowd was really big. When like, oh shit, this movie that no one really wanted is getting a sequel. It's a
Dog.
musical, but the
Why
musical
did it need
isn't
a
like
second
it's not
movie?
like a real musical. It's like it's just music breaks that aren't really progressing the plot of the movie. So I'm like,
Oh
what?
yeah,
Some
so
liquor.
let's
I
take
was
the
like-
Joker and then we're gonna kill him and then we're gonna say it wasn't the actual Joker at the end of the movie.
The
Like,
reason why I
what?
hated it, the reason why I hated it, because like I used to not like musicals, but like if it's progressing the plot, it's fine. But it's like it's music breaks, it's not really moving the story because it's such an interesting character, like the first Joker movie, because we didn't know what was real and what wasn't. But this movie just
Mhm.
threw it out the fucking window, especially in the courtroom.
I almost feel like they
Surprisingly
intentionally made it
enjoyable.
bad.
There's a theory that he made it bad as like a fuck you to the studio.
Yeah, but my
Surprisingly enjoyable movie. And this is not a good movie, but I
Damn.
really did enjoy Carry On. With-
Carry On was great.
Carry On was
Yeah.
good though.
Actually, yeah, it was surprisingly good.
It's
I was
it
like,
was,
what?
but I think
But I think
because
losing
Netflix
the
produced some
plot
banger.
halfway
Netflix made some bangers this year, and like Carry On was just kind of one of those like.
I
Here
think
it
they
is.
hit with Carry
Okay.
On.
I'm almost.
I
done
thought
with
it was
this.
going to be so ass, and I actually was kind of invested.
Yeah,
I
I think
was
it
gonna
kind of
go back
loses
and
the
add.
plot halfway through, but like the beginning of it's actually like really good.
Could have saved the movie. He could have easily put the headpiece in and just threw it away. Just be like, oh, fuck you.
It would
I,
kill his wife. What are you talking about?
I had high hopes. For
Did you not see this
Knoxville,
video?
but that
Listen.
movie
I know they explained it. That they had a sniper on her. You know how big a fucking airport is? Not everywhere in that damn airport has a window. She can hide in that airport.
But
Also, like, man, I have friends who work in the TSA. This movie was hard to watch because of it.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and I texted Mike. It was so bullshit when that black guy got fired. Because I texted Mike. I said his ass better come back because that's bullshit. He's a higher up. They asked him no questions and said, "Yeah, you're done, Blackie."
Yeah, buddy, drinking. Whoa!
Well,
what they
I'll also
said.
say this, like, what bothered me too is like,
Hey.
TSA only stay at one shift for more than like only 30 minutes, and they move. They're required to move every 30 minutes, and like he's at the same spot having to wait. That was like, maybe I ruined this by having friends tell me the entire workings of the TSA.
And are we for real gonna let this guy move up on the busiest
Well-
day of the year to fly?
Oh man.
Ian, I felt the same way watching. What was the Anthony Mackie movie where he's the EOD guy?
Green.
Hey, Colin, how
No.
Hey,
Because
Hey, there, Colin.
my
Hurt Locker.
brother,
All right.
Hurt Locker, yes. My
I
brother-in-law
love
used
that
to
movie.
be. He used to be EOD in the military, so I asked him. I was like, watching this movie, like, do you sit there and think like they're just doing it all wrong, or I was like, how do you watch this movie and not? How do you feel? So I understand what you
Mm-hmm.
mean with Carry On.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think
It was
there were just some
hard.
moments in Carry On. I was like, do I have to suspend my disbelief for some of this?
All right.
Or
Yeah.
It's
are
like
we
a trap.
still rock-
It's like,
Everyone.
oh,
It literally
we can
is
go
like
under
a
the
trap.
stage. We can go under the stage.
Trap was awful. Let's go underneath the stage real quick. You want to go under there?
Fun. All right, people.
And he shows the dart. He's talking to Lady Raven, Taylor Swift, and says, "You see
I'll
this
kill
guy?
this guy.
I can kill him. Who gives a fuck?"
All right.
Or
Your
let's put
husband's
grease
the
in the
butcher.
fire.
He's the butcher.
Let's put the oil and the flammable glass jar together, and then stand there and look at it while we wait for it to explode.
No one saw his ass.
All right. Are you guys ready to learn the scores?
Yeah.
Okay. I will be going from last place back to first, and to let you guys know how the scores were, and I'll show you what each movie is worth at the very end, so you guys can double check my math. But it is the both the Rotten Tomatoes scores, so the critics and the audience reviews, plus the Metacritic score, and then that averaged out. So it's 3 scores divided by 3, and then whatever the average is. You guys
Damn,
know.
you're taking the people's Joker, Nick.
Yes, man.
That would have.
They got a 90. He had a 99. Had a 99 at one point.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it's right now. So, in last place, with a total score of 383, Ian.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. They blew
Yeah,
his speaker out.
I lied. People's Joker has a 95.
The next highest score, with a total of 386, Zeke.
Yeah, baby.
One of us.
After that,
Yeah.
with a total score of 406, Jamar.
Oh no! I finished under Caden.
You
Fuck.
finished under
no.
Caden. And taking up the bronze spot
It's like D'Angelo.
with a score of 428 is our previous winner, Nick.
Oh my God! If Caden wins, I'm gonna kill myself.
Yes.
Hayden wins, we riot.
Drew,
not my
Mike,
winner.
Mike.
It better
Fights
be
are
Playing
right.
to win though. He was playing to win. It doesn't
Yeah, Caden
matter.
didn't even like those movies he took.
So, or excuse me, sorry, yeah. The actual bronze place, because that would be me, is with 331 is myself. And then the final 2 scores were 433, and then the top score of 442. And the top score, the number 1 score and the winner of this draft is Big Mike himself.
Oh my God.
Big Mike himself. And I will
Hitler is dead.
No way.
I will share you guys the screen so you can look at what I'm seeing.
There's no way.
Yeah.
I will double
What
check.
brought me down?
Dude,
I thought I was
okay,
trying to banger.
There were 2 movies
Um.
that like were insane, and it was Anora that I think is what won it for Mike, and the other one, ironically, if Mike got this, was Look Back. Look Back was technically the highest one, so you could yell at me.
Drew,
for,
show me the. Let me look at. Let me see my
70s.
thing.
I'll take it.
It's on. It's on
Not
your
my
thing
thing.
right now. I share my screen. You're the middle one.
Damn, crazy. Saturday Night and Snack Shack got low.
I know. Well, again, I guess it's like audience scores as well, lower because I was surprised by
Yeah,
that.
well, it's so it's bull. It's kind of
Well,
bullshit
you're-
because Snack Shack didn't even come out in theaters, and Saturday Night was only out in theaters for
Yeah,
like a little bit.
dude. Well, actually, that
You're a
works out because
bitch
like
for
Look
taking
Back's
my
really
pick.
high because that has lower views. Caden having Inside Out 2 and Wild Robot got him very high.
Caden gave the Wild Robot a 7, and he put it on 3rd on his
Caden-
list. He was
Caden
literally
picked
trying to win
up
this.
He was
Wow.
not
Wow.
picking
How-
up
Actually,
wait,
hold on, wait
wait,
a second. Wait a second. Wait, no, wait a
Wait.
second. My pick was actually going to be Deadpool, but Zeke took it, so I had
And
to move.
everything I picked tonight, Caden, I watched and thoroughly enjoyed. I was not picking to win.
I will
Oh,
also
yeah.
say
Deadpool's gonna be
congratulations to Mike because I'm pretty sure this is Mike's top 5 movies of this year.
Yeah, because how many times did we
It's
hear
my
Caden
top
talk
4.
about?
Oh, it's your top 4.
How many times did we hear
Which
Caden
one's
talk
the
about
not-
Inside
wait,
Out?
Wait, real quick, Jamar. Which one's not in the top 5?
Kneecap
What?
was all the way down at 16 for me on the year. My top 5 was Dee Dee, A Real Pain, and Evil Does Not Exist.
Is that the Among Us
I'm
noise?
gonna say I could not hear because Ian figured out what the soundboard was again. Say that one more time, Mike. I'm sorry.
Enclave was not there. Enclave was the only one that I didn't get out of my top 5. The
okay.
other 4 were
Okay.
in my top 5.
Listen,
Gotcha.
how many times this year did anyone ever hear Caden talk about Inside Out 2? 0.
And we talk to this man on a daily basis.
Inside
Yeah,
Out
he
2
did.
wasn't the one that like boosted him up. It was Wild Robot.
Right, Drew.
I didn't even know
Drew,
Caden watched Wild Robot until today.
Yeah.
Drew, for shits and giggles, I legit was gonna do the People's Jerker. It got a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes.
What? Ayo, the people's jerker.
Yep, he's
Jerk.
jerking his peanut out in
Morgan
public.
Appendix. But Drew, the audience score for the movie was a
Poor guy.
66.
Yeah, that drops it because again, it's an average. So like, and
Yeah, but it had a 95.
If you guys are curious on like the very specific numbers, that's like all of this. Because like, there's some movies that like,
Curiosity.
do really like Zeke, for example, Transformers 1. Its Rotten Tomato score was an 89 and a 97, but then Metacritic was 64. So it averaged
Wait,
out.
did anyone?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I will
Who
say
had a
I'm
good
kinda surprised
Who had a
it was
good
in the
Metacritic
70.
score?
The honestly, anything that Nick picks is what had a good
Somebody
Metacritic
take
score.
the soundboard away from this man.
Hey, I don't have it this time around. It ain't me.
Yeah.
Drew, we're not.
It's
Drew, we're not-
definitely Nick.
Challengers
I
had
took
a
We
good.
Grown Now.
Also, it's Nick. That's Challengers
When
had
I
a good
first-
Metacritic score with 82.
We Grown Now, when I first took it, was like 85 when I first watched it.
Let me see what else. What else was
Smile
really good?
2 have been.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
What was that?
So close,
This
Nick.
man's playing the game.
He's
Look
playing
at him. He's playing the
Farm
game.
View Valley.
Got the games on your phone?
You got games on your phone,
Uh,
man? Goddamn.
Bruh,
Got the games on
Drew,
your
what
phone?
was Drew? What was Jury number 2's Metacritic score?
Jury number
Right,
two.
That's
Metacritic
a
don't
hockey
like-
game.
Metacritic don't like
Uh,
anything.
It's a 72, surprisingly. It was crazy because Rotten Tomatoes had 92 and 91, and then Metacritic had
Come on, Nick.
72. I like looked it up.
What
on
is
Twitter.
this?
I was so surprised. I mean, to be
I can
fair,
see
like,
this man Nick's
to be fair,
eyeball.
like Mike was
I would-
like.
What I
10
just
ahead of you.
authorized this thing to do?
I would just like to clear my name. Wild Robot was
Mark?
always going to be my top 5 pick. I was always going to choose Wild Robot. It
Yeah, I
just
mean, that
got
was
moved
your
up
highest
to
one.
3rd
But
pick.
like, even like Mike was
was good.
almost like Mike was 9 ahead of you. So even if like Mike was.
No, yeah, I'm just saying. I was always going to pick Wild Robot. It was going to be my 4th pick.
I've never heard you talk about that movie until tonight. I didn't know you
Well,
saw
It's
it.
just crazy that Cade beat me to the silver with 2 points. Like that's the closest difference. Like the top 4
Yeah.
is
Yeah, last
248.
last year was bullshit.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I would have been top 3 last year if I didn't choose Fast and Furious at the end.
Oh,
I
Yeah,
did
you
Chase
did.
and
Yeah,
Get-
Fast and Furious tanked the hell out of you.
Hey, Cade, what were you gonna take then?
I don't remember. Couldn't tell you.
I
It was
got
not
one.
we-
Mike did.
Listen,
Dreamer.
Cade, I won the movie challenge last year at 35, and we took 7 movies. So I was pulling from the depths. You know?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Who got second, Drew?
Caden. Top
All
3.
right, Caden. So you're gonna take Superman or Fantastic Four? Because it's whichever one Mike doesn't take.
I gotta go to bed.
That's not how we
All
determine the order.
Yeah, I wanna thank you all for coming because a couple of you guys got to go back. Mike, again, congratulations. Do you have any closing thoughts to these losers that are in this chat?
Nick, are you even playing the game?
I said this all year, and I'll say it again. Bench players were talking like starters. I hated it.
I hated it.
All right, thank you, Mike.
I'm glad
Thank you,
Mike
everyone.
won. Hashtag that's my champ.
That is my champ. Yeah.